Well, good evening, my gentle folk. Hello. Hope you're all having a wonderful evening so far. I see my sis is here. We got Orphic, Loka, Techno, Mutt, Humbled Vermin, Inkito. Oh my goodness. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful evening so far. Gonna be diving back into some cyberpunk bartender action tonight, so should be fun. So we're gonna go ahead and swap right on over to that. And bloop! Bloop. And let me get all this going over here. There we are. Hello! Hi! I'm here.
Hello, motherfucker.
Oh! How's it going, Dawn? You doing better? Had a little headache after streaming Mega Man 11, but you're better now? I'm glad you're better now. I love it. Dawn just greets with, "Hello, motherfucker!" It's like, oh, hi. How's it going? You doing alright? I wasn't expecting that. Actually, give me one sec here to adjust just a little bit.
Hello there.
There we go. Oh! Well, hello, Arisa. Welcome! I just started! Hi! Welcome, Raiders! Hello! Hope you're all having a wonderful evening so far. We're about to dive into some Valhalla tonight. For those who don't know me, hi, my name is Calyx. I stream stuff. Actually, I have a White Rose night, but I'm here. Hi. Let's see here. We're diving right in. Here we go. Yes, hello. Soda flavored jelly beans? What? Had mediocre Mexican food? Aw. You kind of want to get something else? I mean, you should if you're still hungry. And hello, Ariza. I hope you're doing well tonight. I hope all of you raiders and everyone else in the chat are doing well tonight. Ah, Cuddlestick. Hello. Almost read that as Cuddlestick. I was like, wait, am I gonna get, like, hit with that? And then it's like, oh no, wait. Thank you so much for the follow! It should be an interesting one. I'm hoping it's not as heavy as last time, because last time was a bit crazy. It was very heavy. No. Please do not smack me with the Cuddlestick. Well, let's see here. Bloop. Okay. Now let me actually adjust my model here slightly and just go whoop. There we go. I'll hide down here in this corner. I'll just be like whoop. Just all the way down in this corner. Let's go. Hello. It me. I'm just down here. I'm kidding. I won't actually do that. That'd be kind of silly though. There's a little Christmas tree. Yes. Oh goodness. Thank you so much, Techno! And congratulations on your subscription, Ariza. And Cuddlestick too! Oh my goodness, Techno! Techno giving them out! Thank you for the hydrate. And there's a hello there. Hello! There's a lot of little emotes you can have some fun with. Including, but not limited to, these ones. Where you dance the night away.
Loka88 says, let's go. Calyx, one love, Calyx, one love, Calyx, one love.
Okay then. I'm getting all kinds of love over here. Goodness. Alright. So we'll just dive right in. First let's see if there's any news that I forgot to read. There is news I forgot to read! Film receiving mysterious messages. Halloween was back in October, but this terrifying tale didn't become popular until now. Reports say that Lilim across the city have been receiving strange transmissions. Oh yeah, I read this last time. Long story short, basically, they're getting weird transmissions that they can't record, and everyone's like, the fuck is happening? So yes. I love how my save and load is life backup 1.1. And thank you so much for the lurk, Ariza. There's so much dancing in the chat. Makes me happy. Oh my god, yes, the dance party has commenced. Hang on. I joined in. Boop! Dancing! Let's go. Alright. And 4's over here like, spooky! I'm amused by how cramped this room is getting. There's just piles of beer in the corner and a Christmas tree now. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's see here. Getting right back into it. Go to work. Friday, December 23rd. Good evening. Ah, hey. How are you feeling? Lilim are soft and warm. Oh yeah, I forgot that Dorothy went and like cuddled her a lot. Come again? You heard me. So on a scale from steaming pile of shit to just sad, where are you? Wow. This is our friendship, guys. This is our friend at the bar. Yeah. Yeah, he's very blunt. A sad pile of shit. I still hate myself. I'm still sad as hell, but how to put it, the noise has stopped. I don't know if I explained myself. Sorta, kinda. So how were things last night? Cozy, I must admit. I can't believe you paid Dorothy for that. Well, if you want to call that payment, I guess. I called Dorothy to tell her what happened to you and she was really concerned. She stuttered for a second saying that she had a whole night to go and she couldn't just leave for free. I asked her how much and she said enough to pay for the soda I'm having is fine. How did you get her number? I have contacts. My boss is OP. My boss is too powerful. My boss is way too powerful. I'm gonna go slightly above streaming POS for me. Oh my god. Steaming piece of shit for me. Oh my god. I originally saw POS and I was like, point of sale? Because I worked in retail at one point, so I'm like, oh. Well. Yes, contacts. Right. Gil, I agree with you this time. It's just right. Right. Anyway, Jill, if you need a second break, a drink, or a hug, just let me know. You hear? Thanks. We'll go with that, yeah. I make you the same offer, but I'm guessing hugs for me are the last thing you want. If you need a bartender, let me know, though. Nice to know. Anyway, we have work to do. Ah, okay. I'm supposed to change this up every time, so... You know what, I'm gonna do it backwards today. There we go. Yeah. Time to mix drinks and change lives. That is one hell of a way to start it. Oh god. I was not expecting this music. Skip. It's nice to hear that again. You've never been a steaming point of sale before? You picked it, you deal with it. No, I skipped it. I said no. That was a bit too much to start off a stream. Did you say something? Did I? And he just ninjas away. Hang on. Let's turn it on to the extremely expensive ramen, as we usually do. Welcome to Valhalla. Oh, it's you guys. The Shibas! Hey, be more respectful. I brought my boss here. Your boss is a Shiba with an eye patch. Okay. Aren't you a part-timer here or something? My other boss. You're talking to the great Nacho Tumbleweed Jr. This dog's name is Nacho Tumbleweed Jr. and I love it. Why is your name that? Why? I don't... We have Rad Shiba, and then we have Nacho Tumbleweed Jr. Hang on, I'm writing down this name. I need to use it for something. Hang on. Nacho Tumbleweed Junior. I will find a name to... something to just name that now. I'm going to. I will find something. It might be in my Traveler's Rest one. But I will find something. Name one of your boars in Valheim. That's also a good idea. We'll name one Nacho, one Tumbleweed, and the last one Junior. And they can roam around together. Also, thank you so much for the alert, Cuddle. I appreciate it. And now we're going back into this. Whee! Boss, I'm taking my break! I know what I started earlier, but you haven't even started yet. Shit! So what brings you here today? I wanted to see the place my best soldier is working at. Soldier? Wait, aren't you the dog I served last Monday? Oh, it's you, Dana. Soldier, why didn't you tell me you were working for Dana? No, that's not Dana, that's just Jay. So I'm guessing you're part of this whole Sierra thing. Part of it? I founded it! Ah, good. Good. Imagine the lore, the epic tales of Nacho Tumbleweed Jr. They will be the best of stories. At least they're dogs and not bitches. I'll see myself out. Oh my god. Humans have the best intentions, but they just don't get us. So I decided to create a place where dogs can be dogs. Here we can take in any dog without a place in this world. We created our own heaven on earth. And do you take corgis only? Do I look like one of those cipher bitches? Of course not. I'd include other animals, but sadly I can only take care of those that are the same species as I. Sad thing is I'd take him more seriously, but it's a talking corgi with an eye patch. Will you get anything? I'm fine, what about you, boss? Manly stuff. You sure? Did I stutter? Alright. Manly drink for the dog. We'll do a suplex. Two, three. On the rocks. Mixed. Hello! It's Karasu! How are you? Oh, I got distracted and failed. I let it go for too long. Crap! Let me fix this. Oh goodness! Techno, you just giving out subs like they're going like out of style tonight. Thank you. So far so good. I am enjoying it thus far. Oh goodness! Techno! So congratulations, you can use all the emotes now. Same for Silent Cade. Yes, things. Things. I did not actually. I am here. Hi. Truth be told, I just woke up like 45 minutes ago. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Oh, I was gonna read that. It was gonna sound so bad. So unfortunate. Thank you so much. I was gonna say thank you for the follow, unfortunate, and then I was like, that would sound really bad. Okay. On the rocks. Mix. Boop. Oh! I will check that out then. I will check that out. Bloop! Here! Yes, this is just what I wanted! Blag, it tastes worse than my own butt! Hey, you asked for it. This is a really nice place, you know? You picked a good place to work at, soldier. Thanks! Does he really get paid? Your efforts keep Sierra afloat and will not go to waste. We'll make her better and better. I mean, we're pretty much on the verge of closing. Can boss really afford that? We have more urgent matters at hand, though, like the fact we don't have enough balls for everyone. Can't they just share the ones we have? You fool! Every dog has a right to have his own ball! If we can't provide even that, then what's the point of even trying? Wait, don't tell me she just doesn't give a fuck and is spending all of her money like water. I mean, what with the bar closing and all that. But many have enjoyed the boxes more than they do the balls. That's a good point. What do you think is cheaper, a box of balls or a box of boxes? Are there boxes of boxes? Of course there are! How do you think they ship boxes? Tied together? Tied together? Don't be silly! Unless she's paying you straight from her pocket, boss is that kind of woman. This world is filled with all sorts of recursive madness, you know. Doctors consult doctors, boxes come in boxes, bottles come in bottles! Ooh, as expected from you, boss. What? This conversation... Wait, that theory only works assuming she's actually paying him with money. For all I know, she might be paying him with steaks. So tomorrow you're gonna check for people selling boxes, you hear? Sir, yes, sir! Except that to boss, a good steak is more valuable than money. Wait, what if they come with foil? Rosenstrauss had to be taken to the vet because he ate the foil a piece of cheese came in. Curses, you're right! We need a contingency plan! Besides, boss does not want to scam people, let alone a dog. I wonder if we can strike a deal with the vet those cipher bastards have. She's always so nice with us. I know, her smile is so cute too. So it's better that we vet for a vet? Yes, put that on the list. Ah, Nacho. Oh yeah, I forgot she knew the dog. Are you staying for a while? I was just passing by, I've got some errands to run. I had a sip of my dragon fruit. Great, Gil can go with you. I can? You will! I'll still get paid for today, right? That depends on Nacho's evaluation. Alright, Greenhorn, let's get going. Oh, I'm paying him anyways, by the way. I just wanted to mess around with him. Now, that's not the problem here. Why make him do that? Gil looked like he needed to take a good break, and he's the kind to just not accept such a thing. But with Nacho, he'd have something to do, and he'd be away from the bar for a bit. When you put it that way. Anyway, I'm going back to my office. Your boss sure is nice. Glad I'm working with her too. Yeah. So you have anything? Actually, I'm just gonna go sit over there and be on standby. Await orders. Okay. Shit, I missed the chance to ask how or if he even gets paid with money. Man, I sure need to get wasted. I failed to see how getting wasted would make you feel, but Sheba! For fuck's sake, you piece of scrap. We just got out of a building full of dogs. But this one has a Hawaiian shirt and sunglasses. I mean, okay, that's valid. Hey there, robot. And he talks! It's the twins. They're back. Actually, hang on one sec, because the music is blaring a little too loud in my ears, so I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. There we go. Okay. It was hitting just those notes where if I let it go too loud for too long, I was gonna get a headache. So, welcome to Valhalla. Hey, Jill. Get me a beer, will you? Gotcha. Does Deal want anything? Okay, roll! Sir, yes, sir! So cute. He's fine. Just a beer, then. Friday after work isn't just a beer, though. It's the beer. Can't argue with that. I'm gonna... Yeah. Let's see. She wants a big beer. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mix. Here. Here, let's make it special. Yeah! Cheers! Hey Jill, do you like beer? The amount of beer cans in my apartment is becoming a problem, actually. I mean, that's fair! I had this friend back in high school who made some pretty nice crafts with them. I'm still in contact with him if you're interested. No thanks, the last thing I need right now is more crap taking space. So how are the things up at Dogtown? Well, that Laura girl is stirring things up for better or for worse. For worse? She's, like a rabbit. An overtly politically correct rabbit. Rabbit? Never had a pet rabbit? They're a nervous mess that gets startled over the littlest of things. Oh no. Oh no. This girl is on the constant lookout, scared of saying something that might irk someone. It doesn't have to be the person she's speaking with, even. It's no problem in the company, but the other day we went out together and holy shit, poor girl can't speak properly. She pauses every sentence to make sure she doesn't say something offensive. She's a nice girl and it's sweet that she tries so hard not to offend anyone, but seriously, she tries too hard. You don't help either. Oh, there's Deal. You randomly yell, "What did you say?" whenever she's within earshot distance. Yeah, well, it's just that she looks so cute when she's startled. Like a rabbit. It raises up the question of whether she's really like that, or if you're the one making her wary of anything she says. Well, why don't we test that? How? You go out with her. Why? To test if it's really me who makes her like that. It's not like you can say no, you know? I mean, it's my honor that's on the line here. I want to prove you're only talking shit about me. Even if you were right, you have quite the fixation on that girl. She's fun. Fun how? She actually reacts when I tease her. You take it in your stride, but she actually gets startled, squirms, and then gets uncomfortable. How is that any good? She's cute and her reactions are cute. But if you keep it up, she'll either leave or get used to you. You know, like me. Shit, you're right. I must save my teasing for when the moment is just right then. No, that's not the problem. It is for me. And what are you doing here? What about that dog? He said he had to go out. By the way, he said his name was... Say, this Laura girl, do you guys get along? I wouldn't know. We get along as co-workers at the very least. What kind of girl is she, aside from the whole politically correct rabbit thing? Slow. She's the kind that does things so carefully that she does them really, really slow. Really, really slowly. I can't deny that when she actually finishes stuff, she does a great job, but it's unnerving. She doesn't actually have to be with us in the building, though. She's more like a freelancer. Why is she there, then? Because she likes dogs. And that's why I insist that you two would make a fine couple. That's a really superficial statement. It's like saying you'd be fine with someone just because you're both women. Okay, bad example. May I say something? By all means. If that Laura girl is really as bland as you claim her to be, wouldn't she be better off with a more assertive person? Lilim, a more assertive partner? Yo, piece of scrap, she's totally calling you a pussy. She's right, though. Sharing interests and being compatible are totally different things. But then you'd be underestimating the power of love. Oh my god. Hang on, I need to take a drink. Of my water. And also, give me 1 sec here. Let's see. So I have to move a couple things around on my desk. Oh my god. I need to straighten up my desk real bad. There we go. That should be a little better. Okay. Whether you want to admit it or not, love changes people for better or for worse. Who knows, maybe you'll become more assertive after spending time with her. Or she'll drive me nuts. I guess that's a possibility too. Still, why are you so insistent on me and her getting together? Because she's like a cute rabbit, so someone might try to eat her out there. It'd be a lot easier to keep her in my sight. So in short, your motherly instincts arose because of Laura. Why not see if she likes you? And you already tried to hit on her, didn't you? You make it sound like some... You make me sound like some skirt chaser. She's not into girls. How did you find out? I asked her directly. Of course you did. She seemed, giddy afterwards, though. I heard her muttering something about meeting her first lesbian. It was weird. Okay, enough Laura for a night. Refrain from using "that's what you said last night" jokes or any variation thereof, please. Oh, thank you, sis. I appreciate the hydrate. Okay. Party pooper. Let's get a drink then. Sounds good. I'll have a bloom light. And a fringe weaver. Alright. Let's see. Bloom light. Oh, aged on the rocks and mixed. Bloop. There's the bloom light. And then the fringe weaver. Here you go. I wonder why it's called a bloom light. Seems like it was first developed at some video game event. The creator said something about making those attendees feel like their customers do. Said attendees were, of course, part of some big games company. Seems that company always used too much bloom lighting, so the bartender literally made a drink about all the bloom. So it's not called that because it glows in the dark. Not this one, no. Come to think of it, did you ever change because of a relationship, Jill? In more ways than one, I guess. Would you say for the better or for worse? I guess for the better. I'm too thick-headed to develop any new bad habits. Although thanks to my first boyfriend, I did pick up a very annoying habit of correcting people's grammar on the fly. Pretty annoying when I think back to it. So you were one of those kinds of people. As for me, sometimes I think I became more, what's the word? Cynical, jaded, bitter, tired of the crap this world and everyone in it throws on a daily basis? Hey! That was a lot of shade. You just took the whole tree and just went poof. Just poof. I'm just quoting you. But yeah, I think I became all that because of this one girlfriend I had in college. She got me into the whole activism thing in the first place. How is that bad? We'd all go and protest. We'd start all kinds of movements to see things changed. I really got into the whole thing. But whenever I wanted to get more serious, I find myself coming up against a wall. That wall is an analogy for the fact that not everyone was willing to go that far. I found out pretty fast that most of them were in the whole thing because of some shitty fad, and not because they actually believed in whatever movement they were championing. So I moved from group to group only to find people who were in it because of the fad. And when they were not in it because of a passing fad, they were of the dangerous extremist kind. My tolerance for people's shit was greatly diminished after all that. So it wasn't so much the person you had a relationship with, but rather other people. You seriously never thought about it that way? You need to stop putting the blame on what you do on past relationships. Whatever. Where's the other guy, by the way? He had to escort one of the dogs outside. Figures. Oh yeah, the one that was here asked if you were the nice vet lady that works at the Cypher Toy Company. I suppose he's interested in talking to you or something. Why didn't he do it then? I don't know. You've been doing a few jobs on the side, haven't you? The pay from the dogs isn't enough to keep up with the mounting debts. I don't know how you do it. It's hard to believe dogs pay you at all. But this is coming from someone working at a place that pays a dog for doing fuck all. Or at least I think we're paying him. I'm not completely certain we do. Will you get anything else? Well, we're fine, but we have to get up early tomorrow. And by we, I really mean her. She got invited to a picnic and I won't stand to hear another had to go to a picnic with a hangover story. Fine. Let's go then. See ya, Jill. Bye. Please come again. Man, you're such a party pooper. You'll be the party pooper tomorrow if you keep drinking. Boss, I'll take my break. Call me if someone comes. Alright. And we're in break time. So how's everyone doing? Hope you're all having a wonderful evening so far and enjoying the silly antics of this game. So, boop. There we go. I still love these little scribbles. Had your ramen and have mango nectar. Ooh. And you're working on Ninja and Final Fantasy XIV? That's always fun. I had fun leveling Ninja. I had to relearn it on the fly though, so that was interesting. But yes. It's your last DPS class to level. Nice! No dogs in sight. So the last one that I did was this one. So we'll start with this. There we go. Still have Warrior and Paladin to level before all are maxed. Well, you're getting there bit by bit. Okay. Okay then, back to work. Welcome to Valhalla. Oh hey there, Alma. She seems down. Maybe there's something I can give her to cheer her up? God, what was it that she liked? Trying to see if I can remember. Hang on. What did she like? Does anyone in chat remember? Because I can't remember to save my life right now. What was it? Wasn't it a Brandtini? I think it was. I think it was a Brandtini. Let's see here. I'll try it, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Oh. I guess I was right. Hey! And this? It's on me. Drink so you at least change your expression. Why not just say you're worried about me? You got the message anyway, didn't you? Hey. So, how is it? A Brandtini, so you do pay attention to what I ask for. I totally forgot for a little while there. I'm sorry. You have quite the fixation with Brandtinis. To be honest, they suit you. Hey, wanna hear a silly story? Always. When I turned 21, my dad and I went to a bar to celebrate, just him and I. He told me to dress well enough that he looked like my sugar daddy. It was a fun night. We pretended at times we were dating. I managed to blow off some steam about my mom. But the highlights was him ordering a Brandtini for me. I've had plenty of drinks that have gotten wasted many times since I was 15, but that drink was different. It wasn't about getting drunk, it was the drink itself was a pleasure. He too said they suited me somehow. Oh? Ever since that day, he's calling me Brandtini girl from time to time. Your dad sounds like a cool guy. You should meet him sometime. So why are you deflating? Deflating? When I got sad and started sighing repeatedly, my grandpa would warn me that I would start deflating like an old tire if I kept it up. So what was it? Was it news about people dressing in bunny suits after the whole Ellis Rabbit boom? Nah, that is old news. I mean, it is a problem, but such a thing would only annoy me. Say, Jill, how's your mood right now? I want to ruin it by blowing off all my stored steam. Silly Alma, I've been feeling like utter shit for the last couple of days. You can't make me feel worse. So go ahead, unwind all your worries on me. Don't say I didn't warn you. Okay, so remember my sister Diana? The one that separated from her husband and forgot her kids while fucking her way around or something? Perfect summary. I'll use it next time. I didn't tell you the whole story then, more specifically that she threw her husband out after months of abuse. Oh. Or that woman is incapable of getting a job and maintaining herself. And I mean that. She never even thinks about selling some stuff or trying to earn her bread. She just expects a guy to do all that for her. I have no idea why she turned out like that. Both my mom and dad were hard workers. They even started a small shop to have something to do after retirement. Huh. So what does this fully capable woman do a couple weeks later? Why, bring her abusive husband back, of course. What? And the guy spent a couple of days with her before leaving her again. He had a nice couple of hot, steamy nights and then left. Well? That's a good reaction, Jill. That is a very good reaction.
Bruh.
Huh, you acted like my little brother and sister after hearing that. But the story doesn't end there. Oh no. She's broke and can't even get enough for a bus, even though she'd probably be glad to sell her ass just to get money. And so it's up to me to pick her up. For the last couple of days, she left her kids with my parents. And being such sweet angels, they've made a mess out of the whole place. Bernardo and Eva are actually staying with me for a couple of days to give them some peace. It doesn't help that I never got along with Diana. So we're in the car and she asks how her kids are. And of course, after all the built-up tension, I just exploded. First, I started ranting about how her kids are growing up seeing some messed up stuff. I started scolding her about not taking responsibility and not taking proper care of her children. I tell her that she's in no place to have all those escapades, and after all that, she just says, "What the hell do you know? You don't have any kids." What the fuck? Yeah, you slutty skank, I don't have kids, but I'm not broke just because I refuse to take a job. Don't have kids, but I'm not leaving them in the first barely familiar house I find. I don't have kids, but I'm not letting the guy that hit me on a regular basis back into my bed. I don't have kids, but I pretty much raised Eva and Bernardo, and they've turned out pretty damn well. Oh damn, she's screaming. I don't have any kids, but I'm not a cheap whore! Ah! Damn. Oh. I don't know what to say. There's nothing to say. I love my family and I put them above all else, but Diana is seriously pushing the boundaries of what I can allow. It is very cathartic. How are you doing, Czar? Hope you're having a good evening so far. Is it Wally World Noises night, or do you have tonight off? I was like over here cracking my neck right quick. Any way I could help. You just did. Eh? I know who I'm dealing with. I'm not one to let stuff like that get to me. I'm still angry as hell though, and I couldn't just discuss this with any of my family members. I can't tell my mom your daughter is a slut. I needed to get all this off my chest, you know? Well, from what I see, there's still a lot more to get off your chest. It's swollen as fuck. Now all you see here is filled with love and dreams. Is everyone in your family as busty as you? The worst offender is my dad, actually. You're off tonight? Just kicked ass in Territory War and Conch Blade? So you feel good? Woke up with a nosebleed, though? Feels weirdly good? What? I've never heard someone say that a nosebleed feels good. I'm concerned. Are you okay? Like pressure release valve being loosened? Ah. Okay, that's fair. The worst offender is my dad, actually. Kidding, kidding. I guess the only one that didn't get big boobs gene was Eva. She insists on getting surgery or genetic treatment, but I tell her she's fine just the way she is. These can actually be more of a hassle than a blessing. And poor Bernardo, his breasts actually started growing when he was 8. I just hope I don't take too much from my mother's side of the family. My father's sister still looked quite young, but when menopause hit, my mom lost her looks rather quickly. Any good genes you got from your family, Jill? Good enough skin and hair, I guess. There's a thing about a shrimp allergy, but so far I haven't had any problems with that. Oh, I see. Hey, you know what worries me the most about the whole Diana situation? How your nephews are turning out? If she leaves them with my mom, they'll turn out better than her somehow. Actually, what worries me is, what if I end up like that too? How so? If I find a good man and I settle down, what if he turns out shitty? What if I have a sudden burst where I want to live my life and end up like that? What if I have kids and I end up neglecting them because of all that? If you ask me, the fact that you're even worried about it is indication enough that you'll be fine. You think? I'm pretty sure. You said before that she pretty much married the guy after a couple of months, right? Yeah. No offense, but those are the kind of people who wouldn't even think about all of that. Besides, if any guy ends up marrying you, it's because he passed your irrational standards. Hey! Am I lying? No, but there are things best kept as unspoken truths. Yes, this game is very interesting. This is still tackling the whole thing about freedom that's been haunting Jill. That is correct. It's often the one who worries about these things that would try to avoid stuff. They go out of their way to do it right. That's fair. Oh, thank you so much for the posture check and the hydrate. And I just stretched, so don't worry about redeeming that one. You redeemed it anyway. Okay, I'll stretch again. She is. I like Alma. Okay. I wonder if I'll ever find a good guy. You will. You'll know when the time comes. I sure hope so. For now, the time has come to get another drink. The glasses bring her look together, you feel? They do, actually. What can I get you? Give me something with ice, but alcoholic, please. Something cold with alcohol. That would be... No. Splendid. I mean, here we go. Oh, on the rocks next. Here you go. Thanks, I needed to cool down a bit. That's why I'm here. So say you felt shitty for the last couple of days? Why? Don't think too much about it. Oh, come on, you heard my problems. I want to help you too. Don't worry too much. Right, I almost forgot to tell you something. What is it? My boss is throwing a mega Christmas party this Sunday. You want to come? Sure, something tells me this mega Christmas is gonna be a mess at my parents' home, so I'd rather avoid it. Are you guys getting chicken? I can get one. To be honest, I wouldn't know. You can bring it if you want. It won't go to waste. Gotcha. Say Jill, what's your favorite part of the chicken? Favorite part? I guess I like the legs the most. Really, I like the breast better. Breast is a bit too simple, don't you think? Legs have a better texture. Maybe, but simple is usually better. Breast is easier to enjoy than legs, and a lot less messy. Oh my god! You silly girls. Boss? You're still talking about breasts and legs when everyone knows the best part is are the wings. Boss, what's that? Spicy chicken wings. Where did you get spicy chicken wings? From a spicy chicken. You know, spicy chicken, the shop 2 blocks from here. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Why are you carrying a bucket of spicy chicken wings? Why aren't you carrying a bucket of spicy chicken wings? Well, because... Thought as much. Yo, Armitage. I still love how there's a reference to Armitage in here. Alma, I know what I said. Will the chicken you're talking about be cooked already? You might need to heat it up, but it'd be cooked otherwise. Great, I expect you here on Sunday at 8 p.m. Thanks. Anyway, I'll be back to my office. She left the bucket. Want some? Don't mind if I do. Oh, mild spice. Nice. Weird, maybe she got a mixed up order and that's why she left them here. She usually orders stronger stuff. I found buckets that make my throat itch just from being near them. Oh. Say, Joe, what kind of guys do you like? That's a sudden question. I'm not too picky with guys, to be honest. I want them to be decent enough. Not jealous, not aggressive, responsible enough to keep a job. That's no good. Do you like them buff? What about tall? No tattoos or piercings, I guess. Never liked either. What about you? I like them well dressed. Well, thank you for the stretch, Kito. If they go out in iron shirts and well-coordinated clothes, they're sure to catch my eye. Some muscle is always fine too, but sharply dressed males catch my attention faster. And yet you're still single. That's how I like my men. My potential husband, on the other hand, is another matter completely. I see. So can you give me a drink here? The spicy wings turned out to be spicy. What do I get you? Anything, as long as it helps with the spiciness in my mouth. Okay. So something probably sweet. One, two, three, and three. Here. Phew, it helped. Thanks. Alright, so next question. What kind of girl do you like? You first. Sorry, I don't swing that way. Sure, I have no qualms about saying a girl is cute or cool, but nope, I prefer men in my bed. Now you. Shit, just calm down. I guess I like girls with light-colored hair. Light-colored hair? Yeah, you know, like redheads and such. What about white, like your boss? You were just setting me up for that comment, weren't you? Sorry, it's just that when she got here with the bucket of wings, your eyes pretty much started sparkling. Your whole behavior transformed, you became giddy and cheerful all of a sudden. Hey, I can't blame you, she's pretty nice. I just felt like teasing you. So, light-colored hair. What about blondes? Do you like me? Yeah, I guess. Let's say I'm into girls too and I start hitting on you. Would you go along with it? Nice body, pretty face, and a good apartment? Wouldn't ever let you go. Okay then, enough tangents. Why don't you tell me why you're feeling shitty these last days? What? Oh, that. I told you not to think too much about it. And I told you I want to know. Come on, Jill, you've heard my problem so many times, now I want to help you. Come on, come here. Eh? I told you to sit here, come on. What? Oh look, it's me! Oh, what are you? Hello. It is I. The Jill. So get all comfy in my chair again. Role reversal. Alright then now. I'm the bartender and you're the client. Hardly, the bartending station only works with me. I see. Okay, then I move this here, click this here. Oh. Now it works for you, for me, and that dog in the Hawaiian shirt. Why with him too? He's a dog in a fucking Hawaiian shirt. Right, how did you even manage to... Oh yeah, hacker, right. Now we changed roles. You've been feeling shitty, mind telling me why? It's a long story, I don't even know where to start. Start from the beginning. Okay, then it's something that goes back to my college years. Whoa, that's taking it way back. Back in compulsory education, I never made too much of an effort, but I managed to get high grades. Even in PE, I managed to do well enough to always get perfect grades. And then, of course, when I got to college, shit started getting hard. I had this perfectionist streak that wouldn't let me fail anything. Burning my eyelashes studying, I eventually managed to keep up good grades. After about half of the career, I met a student teacher. Her name was Lenore. She helped me a lot with my studies. She even got me into stuff that gave more credits. I really liked her, and after some time I found out she liked me too. Oh ho ho. We started going out, I met all of her family even, and you want a drink? What? A drink. Around this time there's usually a pause that makes you offer a drink to the client. There was no such pause. Please, I want to test this whole bartending interface. A sugar rush then. You can't mess that up. Right. This is so interesting. Here. Thanks. How is it? Like I said, you can't mess up a sugar rush. I was gut feeling that with your body you'd make a better bartender than me. You're selling yourself too short. You're cute, you know? People don't go into bars for cuteness, though. You've obviously never been to a cat bar, then. Besides, my boobs can be a hassle when trying to move around this kind of stuff. So keep telling me the story. Well, as the career went on, it got harder and harder. The last year and a half of it became nothing but a study session after study session, investigations, my thesis. When the graduation ceremony came, I had to make a speech, and suddenly, while reading said speech, I almost had a panic attack. Fear of public speaking? I realized I lost about 1.5 years of my life. I tried to remember if I did anything fun at all, but all I could remember was studying and investigating new topics. I didn't even enjoy doing all that, so I was just standing there and the satisfaction of graduating was minimal. I realized I had only gone through the motions day after day, from high school to graduating. I felt like whole years of my life had slipped through my fingers. I never stopped to think if I enjoyed what I was doing. In fact, I never stopped. But at that point, I stopped. I realized I need a breather or something. Did I even like that career? It was all terrifying as hell. I needed all of my strength to not start running like a panicked mess. So a couple of months later, I get an offer to start working at this big research facility. Lenore was ecstatic. She was so proud of me back then. But I was just scared. That would be my job. I'd spend my life expanding what I did during that 1.5 years. What if I had a sudden realization like the one I had at graduation, but when I turned 40? Didn't know what to do, but I sure as hell wasn't taking that offer as my... hang on. So next time I have a chance to save, I'm gonna go make some tea. I told Lenore, and she freaked out. She confessed that she was jealous because she never got such a chance. Things devolved pretty quickly. She said one too many things, I said one too many things. In the end, I just stormed out of her house and I broke a vase in the process. After that, I never spoke to her again. Damn. I'm sorry, I suddenly feel bad for pushing you to tell me all that. Why are you feeling shitty about that after all this time, though? Unless you've been feeling shitty for years. I have, but it's not just because of that. Eh? The other day, Lenore's sister, Gabriel, came into this bar. Apparently, Lenore died last week. Localized nanomachine rejection, a heart attack. Apparently, she had it for a long time but never told anyone. And coincidentally, it got worse after I left. And I just can't stop thinking about it, wondering if me being there would have made a difference. And if it's true she had that for a long time, why didn't she tell me she was sick when we were together? I don't know, I just feel like all kinds of failure. Jill. And to make it worse, I also lashed out at Gabby. Yes, she was blaming me for her sister's death and all, but she's just a kid, for fuck's sake. She lost the sister who pretty much raised her on her own. And to top that all off, I suddenly can't remember what stopped me from apologizing. Pride? Fear? A stupid effort to leave the most awesome person I loved as a thing of the past? Who cares? I lost my chance to apologize to her forever. Truly forever. I'm such a piece of shit. And selfish. A selfish piece of shit. I honestly don't know what to say. I didn't expect the story to be this. Yo, boob tender. Yes? Can you give me a big beer here? Coming right up. Big beer for Jill. Thanks. I need to remember to take care of the cans in my apartment. Do you drink lots of beer? One of the perks of the BTC issued liver implant is that I can drink lots of beer without getting too wasted. Oh. Hey Jill, what kind of girl was Lenore? Well, she was calm and smart. Back in college I was too thick-headed and got riled up easily. Stressed was my default state. So just like you're behaving right now. Shut up, I was worse. Can't picture that. Don't, it's embarrassing. Anyway, she was always there, finding ways to cool me down. She was also able to hold conversations about pretty much any topic. One time I saw her go from talking about video games to talking about sports. All of that variety while still being a hardcore scientist. She would always push me into social interactions. If she saw me by myself, she would drag me with her. Watching people is fine, but talking to them is better, she would say. Lenore would always present me to her many acquaintances as the girl I don't mind cuddling with for hours. Man, I'm gonna miss her. Oh, hi, Belle. Welcome. Oh, hi, girl. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a lovely evening so far. Being shy and dragged to parties? Yes. Oh my god, squishy. Oof. Oh, goodness. Techno. gifted more subs! There you go, you have a sub now. Enjoy all the emotes, Belle. Oh, it's been good so far. We've been going for about an hour. When I get to the part where we're at the apartment again, I am going to take a small little break and go make some tea. Because my throat is like, hey, fuck you. So yeah, we're gonna make that all work. But hope everyone's doing well. Techno! Well, now you have a sub, Squishy. Congratulations on now having a sub. You are! Oh my goodness. Little dance party. There we go. Thank you so much, Techno. And everyone who just got subs, enjoy! We have silly things. And my sis makes all the emotes. The only one that she didn't make at this point is the dancing one, because that was a gift from my friend Dante. So yes. After a point, I didn't even think about getting back into a relationship with her, but she was such an awesome person, I just wanted to apologize. I should also specify for anyone who just joined, this is actually our character. She got thrown to the other side of the bar. And now... You know, I'm in a cruel twist of irony. She's the one that made me pick up bartending. Oh? Back when I was thinking about what the hell to do with my life, I remembered a night we spent in a club. She started talking about how the drinks were synthesized, the chemistry involved, the reactions and all that. Everything sounded so fascinating. I remember saying that her talk made me want to start mixing drinks. She said if everything else fails, why not take up bartending? Huh. Interesting. Are you okay? Person value of okay, yeah. Is just... I wanted to thank you, Alma. Thank me? I guess I just needed someone to tell all this to, and you were the one. You volunteered yourself, you insisted on listening to me. Robot cocktails are apparently not very good from what I hear as well. Better to have a human do it? Yes. It's true. It's true. Because they can taste to make sure they are okay. Yeah, we just take a big swig of whatever we're making and then give it to someone. I'm kidding. We stood there listening to the whole thing from beginning to end. I know I might not be the most expressive person, but I'm not one to spout love. I'm not one to spout love and fluffiness, but I really like you. Maybe I'm just a bartender and you're just a client, but I really appreciate your friendship, or at the very least your patronage. I really enjoy working for you. Jill, are you dying? Shut up, I'm trying to have a heart-to-heart here! Sorry, it's just... It's weird for you to get so sappy. Well, I just realized the saddest thing is I'll never be able to make amends. And it hurts like fucking hell, you know? I never, and I mean never, want to feel that way ever again. I don't want someone to suddenly exit my life and have my last memory of them involve something nasty. I don't want the lingering grief of having burned a bridge on a whim. I want to avoid that at any cost. And if it means breaking character every once in a while, so be it. I'll let everyone know how I really feel about them. If I ever fight with them, I'll swallow my pride, muster all my courage I can, and be the one to apologize. I hate feeling like this. Hate it. Hate it! That's a nice resolution. Maybe I'll be a copycat and do the same. Alright, enough sappiness. Get back here. I'm on duty, you know? Fine! It's almost closing time anyways. It was fun while it lasted, though. Hey. Yeah? I mean it, you know? Thanks for everything today. Silly Jill, you listen to my problems and I listen to yours. That's what friends are for, right? Right. I'll be leaving now. Oh, before I forget. Did you ever talk about all this with your parents? They know the basics, but I haven't told them about Lenore's death yet. Why don't you do that sometime? I don't know. I don't want to bother them with my problems. Don't be silly. They're your parents. They live to share your problems. You should try having a talk like that with them sometime. They'll appreciate it. Anyway, I'm out. See you on Sunday. Take care. That Alma girl sure is nice. Ah, boss, did you hear all that? Not all of it, but a good chunk at the very least. Your expression changed a lot already. You did? You look happier. That's always good. Anyway, let's call it a day. I expect an even brighter Jill tomorrow. Right! Oh yeah, boss, about those chicken wings. Fucking idiots have the spicy chicken. Sorry, Dana, we won't have enough spices for your order until tomorrow, they said. Is that how they treat the regulars? Call him manager. Boss? What the hell? The bonus this time is Cherish Titty Hacker. She's a good friend. What? Oh my god. That is... I don't have an even for that. I really don't. Oh my god, I just had to spend $8,000 for my electric bill. That's so much money. My wallet screamed. Alright. I love how this is just called Dangerous Opinions. It's like, wait, hang on. Augmented eye. Well, that's kind of creepy. So one of the Little'em actually managed to record the message and says, "Who are you? Are you really alive?" Laughs. "You're special to me. You're everything to me. It's time to become one." What? Better not be fucking with Dorothy. Better not be fucking with Dorothy. I like Dorothy. Alright, so gonna take a little break here and go make some tea. Because tea helps. I'm gonna just put a ton of honey in it and not die. So let's see here. So we will be right back. My sis is going to run some ads so that people, when they join, don't end up with pre-rolls. So we shall be back here in just a couple of minutes. I'm back with tea that I just put so much honey in it's not even funny. That rhymed. But I made some green tea with lemon and ginseng in it, so that should help a bit. Pardon the light ASMR of me stirring my tea. Damn it, Loka. Of course you had to say that. How could I ever expect you not to say something like that? Alright. Let this cool for a minute. Because it's still really hot. Alright, so let's get back into it. Yeah. A bloop. Alright, here we go. We're back in it again. We return to her sitting in her apartment. It is so cluttered! Like, I keep looking at it, I'm like, oh god, it's so cluttered. There's just too much in this room. I love the little mega Christmas tree though, I do like that. But then like, we got the booze, we got Kira Mickey, we got Kira Mickey here too, we got video game posters, we got the boss poster, we got this, we got lots of beer, we got a fan. We got so many things in here. Oof. Alright. Let me take a little sip of this tea. It is almost pure honey water. But it's gonna help my throat, and that's what matters. Also, I apologize for the slight bit of an excess delay. I was actually getting some more water in the process as well, because I came back in here, I sat down, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get back to it, and then I was like, shit, I forgot to refill my water. Okay. Now I have tea, I have water, and we're back at it. Going back to work. Egg Christmas! Egg Christmas Eve. I'd buy that for $1. Good for you, sir. Good evening. Ah, hey Jill. How are you feeling? I won't say good, but not that bad, I guess. That's nice to hear. Where's Gil? Did he run away again? Nah, I have him on errand duty buying drinks for tomorrow. That sounds weird coming from the owner of a bar. Every drink from here would come out of our own funds. So if we're gonna spend money, we might as well get more variety. Besides, those kind of walks are always good for Gil. You're the boss. Who's coming so far? Well, there's the three of us plus the dog. The dogs, you invited Titty Hacker, and Gil invited Jamie. Oh yeah, I also invited Dorothy when I called her to spend the night with you. Sounds good so far. Invite anyone else you feel like inviting, the more the merrier. I could, but I bet everyone's made plans by this point. That's true. I'll be in my office. Call me call me should anything arise. Alright. Back to the jukebox. Let's see. So we left off on this one. Okay. Time to mix drinks and change lives. Wait here, I'll check inside. Welcome to Valhalla. Oh, a BTC bar. Excuse me, do you know where the Athena Convention Center is? Why does that place make people get lost so easily? They should have called it the Minotaur Center. Hold on, let me scribble the directions on paper. Thanks. Go to the right when you see a building filled with hobos. This should be it. Thanks a lot. Anything else I can help you with? What the hell, I'll have a drink. What about you? A Brantini, please. Right. The little one's just staring. Oh, hey, Palico, welcome! Hope you're having a wonderful evening so far. We're mixing drinks and changing lives. Here you are. Thanks. That's an interesting outfit in this cold season, miss. Well, I'm actually cosplaying, so call me Vella for the time being. And your Lilum friend is? Essentia. I get it, you're cosplaying too? Sure, let's go with that. Have you heard of a game called Yick? I'm doing alright so far. Just made a big cup of tea that then I put so much honey in that it's basically honey water. But at the same time, my throat's already feeling a little better, so. A cult classic game that has seen like 3 remastered versions made by 6 different companies this year. That one. We're in a cosplay group dedicated to it and we got lost on the way. I heard you talking to someone outside. Oh yeah, a friend is cosplaying as Alex. I told him to wait outside. Shouldn't he enter? He'll be fine. Something amiss? There's a girl behind you. Short hair, black sailor uniform, missing an arm. Wearing jeans under a skirt. Now, don't spook the bartender. Spook? Him. Anything else? I'll get a fluffy dream and be on my way. And you? I'm fine. I don't like this Lilum. I think? Here. Yep, this is the thing. Seriously though, should you leave your friend outside like that? He'll be fine. He started chatting with one of the vending machines. They were talking about R&B music. Does your friend prefer the 1980s R&B or the 1970s? 1980s, I think. Oh shit. Boss, Dee Dee, R&B! I'm coming! You see, Dee Dee is a 1970s purist. He has tased people for even liking 1980s R&B before. He got tased! Oh god. He'll be fine. Vending machines have very weak tasers. He'll be confused for a couple of minutes, but that'll be that. You should go check on him though. Right, thanks again for the directions. Please come again. At least it wasn't Franco-Belgian comic opinions this time. Black sailor uniform? I hope I'm just overthinking it. More importantly though, jeans under a skirt? Welcome to Valhalla. Oh, hey Dorothy. Oh, hi honey. Are you okay? I just kind of wandered in here. I guess I'm a bit distracted. Can Lilum just wander? Can I get you something? Oh, Sugar Rush. Yeah, that. Right. What was the drink that cheered her up? There's like one very particular drink that she loves. Hang on. What was it? Wasn't it a Piano Woman? I think it was. Oh fuck it, we're gonna make it and see what happens. Here you go. This is... Didn't you say you liked having a piano woman whenever you felt like celebrating or were feeling down? I did? Wait, I did! You actually remembered such a thing! You're so sweet. I was half expecting her to say that she meant a literal piano woman. Glad I was wrong. I'm glad I remembered. Shit! So much silence. By the way, thanks for staying with me the other day. Turns out I really needed that. So did you enjoy the soda? Oh, did you find that one out? Was it supposed to be a secret? No, but don't go around telling everyone about that. I did it because it was you who needed my help, but a hug night is usually one of my most expensive services. It is? Hey, I don't know if the client has body odor or something like that. Not to mention it limits the chances of getting any other client that night. Still, did it help? Yeah, it helped me cool down a lot. So from what Dana told me, someone close to you died, right? Yeah. Do you want to know more about it? Do you want to tell me about it? I brought it up enough times already, I think. No problem then. You were sad and that's all I needed to know. Sorry for the loss though. I mean it. Thanks. Although I wondered for a while, do you, Lilim, really understand death? Sorta, kinda. Our whole database is constantly being backed up in the collective source. Even if our bodies are destroyed, we can be deployed again with our personalities and memories intact. So our concept of mortality might be different. We do have a fear of death, though. You do? We can't even begin to understand the idea of not being redeployed. While we have built-in warnings, the mere idea of that nothingness is paralyzing. There are a few that don't mind it, but we do fear death and we don't wish it on anyone. In fact, that was the argument used for abolishing the whole 3 laws thing. You seem quite knowledgeable about robot history. Seeing what others have done to make sure I can live like I do helps me not take things for granted. Seriously though, those laws were bullshit. Can't harm humans, can't disobey humans unless it's about hurting them. And you can protect yourself as long as it doesn't harm humans. I mean, sure, the first AIs were just helpers and tools, but how could those laws still apply to them after they achieved self-awareness? Who in their right mind would abide only by rules inscribed in some old book? If I remember correctly, those were only the distilled versions of the laws some writer imagined over 100 years ago. They were a reduced version of all his ideas. However, many authors afterwards took to them like they were the very laws of physics or something. And like many other things, people distill and exaggerate what they need and use it in their favor. Wow, you're a nerd! Look who's talking. Let's change the subject a bit. Mood's getting gloomy. Your apartment is very comfy, you know? It's a tad small though, sorry about that. And your cat is so cute. What was his name again? 4. Why 4? I figured if you ever got lost, at least I wanted to be able to yell 4! It happened once. You'd be surprised by how many golf players you run into. And every time you play with them, you can say it's foreplay. That's a good line, actually. I can't fault that line. I cannot fault that line. I still have to abide by the guidelines in my contract between Tau Robotics and your Kingdom. That's fair. Ah, honey water. Yes. Yeah. He was also named after someone. Really, who? A Lilim kid that wanted to transcend. What, a movie character or something? Sure, let's go with that. Do you want anything else? Let's see if you know me that well. Give me something I'd like. Okay then. What would Dorothy order? I think something... girly and sweet. It's probably this. And thank you for the posture check, the hydrate, and the stretch. Okay. I never actually read this. One of these will make all of your teeth turn blue. Hope you brush them well. Love it. What about this? Yep, just nice. You always order either sweet or girly drinks. It was a no-brainer. Girly and sweet drinks for a sweet girl. I still can't believe you actually remembered what I said about the piano woman. It's always good to keep note of what regulars like, you know? I've wondered for a while though, why do you keep coming back here? For you, of course. Come again? Why else would I come if not to see you? You're one of the few people willing to hear me out, always filled with curiosity. And you're cute. Talking to cute people is always nice. There's also the bar, the way it's insulated from the noise of the city. It's really comfortable. Like an icy or a Slurpee, yes. And it's just a bit away from the street I'm always at. A win-win situation. I see. It was weird to see you down though, especially since you're always so lively. Well, I wasn't down really. I was just thinking about a lot of things. Like what? Well, my mom, guardian, asked me to go home on Monday for a bit. And as much as I love her, being with her is usually tiring. Guardian. That whole thing about someone taking care of Lilim after they're deployed until they reach maturity, right? Yeah, but I'm proud to say that I reached physiological maturity in just 1 year. They always try and keep a varied pool of volunteers to make the collective source grow faster. So what's wrong with your guardian? Well, she still treats me like a kid. The worst part is that sometimes I fear she might see me as some sort of replacement for her dead daughter. Oh! Oh! It got heavy again! Huh? Dead daughter? I was deployed to her not long after she lost her daughter, a contrived coincidence really. Even when I was still developing self-awareness, I always feared she might be using me as a replacement. She didn't though, or at least not consciously. At times she would just stop doing something or return a gift she's given me. If she felt like she was projecting too much of her daughter onto me. What an irony, years later I'd make a living pretending to be someone else in the bedroom. How's that? Well, most of the time my job involves role-playing. A daughter, a student, some helpless kid. It means I've gotten many clients looking exactly for that, but on the other hand, from a professional standpoint, I'd rather have them hire me because of me. Because of my character, not because I'm the one that role-plays as little girls. Maybe I need to exaggerate some attribute. What's the problem with your guardian then? If you do that on the daily basis, why worry about it? Because I don't want to make her sad. Every time I visit her, I fear she might look at me and see her daughter. That seeing me makes her sad. At this point, I don't even care if she's projecting her daughter onto me, I just don't want to make her feel sad. Did you try talking with her? How so? Telling her just what you said to me, clear up those fears. I mean, unless she's not the kind to want anyone opening up to her, that is. I never really thought about talking to her about that. It doesn't sound like something you just bring up, though. Keep it in mind, at least. Maybe she'll appreciate the gesture. I wouldn't know, though. I haven't met her. She's a really nice woman. The problem is mostly with me, I think. Well then, I'm taking my break. Oh, I'll be leaving then. No, what I was trying to say is that I'm taking my break. You want to come? Really? If you don't mind talking on a chilly night in an alley behind a bar, that is. I've done worse in alleys. Let's go! Boss, I'm taking my break! Alright! Alright, break time! I still love the little scribbles! I don't know how long this game is, I just realized. I legitimately don't know how long this game is. I love it though. And don't worry, if we get to a point where we actually finish this game, which probably will happen given that this is my staple Saturday game right now, I do have another game already lined up for after this one. So, and that game is called Coffee Talk. So yes, that's probably going to be happening in the future after we finish up this one. But for now, back in it! You never got this far? Oh goodness. Want one? Are you really offering a little girl a cigarette? Now you're a little girl? I always am. Innocence, however, is another matter entirely. But anyway, thanks, no. Smoking seriously messes with my air filters and they're a hassle to replace. Don't mind me though, smoke to your heart's content. Thanks. So why don't you tell me about this guardian of yours? I want to know what kind of woman she is. Sure. Well, her name is Sophia Graham. Graham? She's a retired PE teacher. Nowadays she works at a gym during the morning shift. She's pretty fit, if I do say so myself. She had a daughter. Apparently she suffered from nanomachine rejection all of her life. And when she finally healed, she was hit by a truck. What was her daughter's name? I don't know, I never asked, really. Are you okay? I'm reading Fears. That surprise, it's hard to tell. I'm fine, yeah. Wait, read? Well, I don't see emotions like you do. I have to make do with a combination of body heat readings, face recognition, and context. I'm still a bit confused about some, but I've gotten better with time. Anyway, you sure you're fine? Yeah. Scared or surprised, she's not wrong, though. Wait, does that mean your last name isn't really Hayes? Hayes is just my artistic name. Sounds more exotic, and that's what people usually look for in this business. I tried other names, though. Dolores Hayes, Genesis Graham. I tried Dorothy Warrior once, but the legal team came out of nowhere and stopped me cold. So what's your legal name, then? Rebecca Dorothy Willow Graham. A bit of a mouthful, if you ask me. So Dorothy's actually your second name? Should I call you something like Becky, then? People have always called me Dorothy rather than Rebecca for some reason. That's why I chose it. I have the same problem with my air filters. That's why I don't stand near anyone who smokes in the castle. That's why I tell them to go outside. Damn it. Are they still... Are they hiding in that side room again? Do I need to go and form a little raid with the other knights and go take care of it? Because dear lord, I've told them like 20 times now. It's useful too. People have tried to falsify stuff using my name and they always get caught. Because they use Dorothy Hayes as their name? Yep. Only my mom, or guardian, calls me Rebecca, so it's weird to hear it from others. What about Willow? Willow's my first surname, actually. When I got registered, my guardian was married to a guy who had Willow as a last name. Shortly after I joined their household, they separated, and so I was left with his family name first. Hold on, so your real name in short would be Rebecca Willow? Doesn't have the same pizzazz to it, if you ask me. Whatever you say, Becky. Stop it! It'd be like if I called you Julian all of a sudden. Ahem. Oh, that was anger I just read now. Lots of anger. I think it's weird enough already if you call me Jill instead of Honey. Weird, huh? How can you end up feeling associated with a name that's not yours? I have an uncle that always called me Tina. He kept calling my cousin Tina Jill for some reason. Neither of us minded though, because he's calling us what he thinks we're called instead of mixing us up. Then it's completely useless to try and correct him. But you know, maybe that effect is true for your clients too. How so? Well, you're worried about your clients not hiring you because you're you, right? But think about what happens when it's announced that a character will be played by a different actor. Sure, it's a character, but people are also going for the actor playing the character. So you're saying they go for my roleplay instead of just mere roleplay? Sounds too far-fetched? Sounds plausible, actually. Okay, honey, I'll take my leave now. Don't want to take up all of your break. Thanks for the chat. See you at the party tomorrow. Bye. I need to remember to buy more cigars. Okay. Let's see. Back, did I miss something? Unless you count the worst PPV main in the event fight I've seen all year, not really, no. The pay-per-view fight. Alright, going out? I'll have a word with Go-Go outside. He was so hyped for that match, he must be devastated. Okay. Welcome to Valhalla. Oh, hi, Say. It's Say! Good evening, Jill. How are you doing? The nightmares have stopped, so I'm sleeping, but oh no, Say! You cinnamon bun! No! Not nightmares for you. No nightmares for you. Ahem. How about your injuries? My bones are healing nicely, my wound's finally closed. The scars itch a bit, though. Well, that's good to hear. Are you by yourself today? Yeah, I'm running a couple of errands by myself today, but I wanted to come here for a while. I also noticed the big guy from last time is outside. Buster, Stella doesn't want me being alone while I'm still healing, so she suggested taking him with me. I see. What can I get you? Something cold. Something cold. Okay. We'll just go through them like this. I mean, this is cold. Here. Oh, the question book. Hang on. Give me a number between 1 and 3001. Do it, my friend. For I require it. Let's see here. Nine, 6, 9. Nice. Funny number. Did I ever take a final test that made me really nervous? What was going on? Yes. I have a few that made me really nervous. So, for those who don't know, I actually have a degree in costume design. And so my final test for one of my classes was basically to take a picture of a Victorian era dress and completely pattern it from scratch. it was rough. I was actually highly nervous about that because not only did I have to pattern it, but then I had to make a mock-up of it. A mock-up being basically when you take the pattern and you cut it out in like a muslin type material and then stitch it all together just to see how it would fit. And dear Lord, that one was rough. That was a rough one. I was very nervous about that. I managed to actually get a really good grade on it, but I was just like, oh god, when it happened. So, yeah, that was the one that I was very, very, very stressed and nervous about. Oh my goodness. But yes. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, this is the one. Why drink something cold when the weather outside is so cold too? It's not that cold actually. But I've always had a decent tolerance for the cold, so I'm not a good reference. So Stella isn't with you today. She's throwing a mega Christmas party tomorrow and is having a meeting today. I'm just helping her by checking on some of the things she ordered. And here I was all ready to invite you to the party we're throwing tomorrow. You're throwing a party too? Sorry about that. Can't really say no to Stella. Maybe next time? If there's a next time at all. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. I want you to know that I want you to have a good time. Have fun. Drink a couple of beers in our honor. I will then. What are Stella's Christmas parties like? They're real big. There's lots of food and drinks and music. Sometimes there's too much food though. So at the end of the party she lets the staff take home whatever's left. She also buys toys for all the children of her staff members. Really? She says something about taxes or whatever, but during the whole thing she just shines. She carries a beaming smile that I don't see any other day of the year. Many of the kids have even started calling her Auntie Ella. Aw, that's so sweet. Stella always does her best to put up a tough girl facade, but she's very much in touch with her inner child. Christmas, Easter, Halloween, name a party and she most likely celebrates it big. Interesting. Do you like parties, Jill? I don't mind them. They're a good place to see people. I'm not one to actively look for parties to attend though, I just don't mind going to them. Ah, I see. I only go to parties that Stella is attending because otherwise I just stand there without anything to say. That and I'm not one to wear dresses, you know? You're not? I'm a tad too ripped. They don't look cute on me. Although with all this healing I have to do, I won't be as fit for a while. You're too, breezy too. I feel like I'm wearing nothing. And I bet you'd look good in a dress, Jill. It's been years since I last wore one, I wouldn't know. Last time I wore one I remember worrying my arms were too thin or something like that. We all have a complex, huh? I mean, even Stella has her own. That's hard to imagine. Oh, but she does have one. She distresses a lot about her bust size. What is with tonight? Tonight is just all about busts, it seems. I don't understand. Really, she's not that small. I think I'm smaller than her, in fact. Actually, it's the opposite. The opposite kind of complex, I mean. She's a bit self-conscious about having a big chest. Really? Again, I've seen bigger chests than hers, to be honest. Although I guess comparisons are useless here, they rarely help with complexes. Well, she does go the extra mile to hide it. In fact, I have no idea how she does it. I mean, I've seen her before and after she tucks them away, but I guess I never cared enough to ask the specifics. That's also why when she goes out, she styles her hair in those, drills? They look a bit drilly, don't they? She styles her hair like that to help divert attention away from her chest. She seems affluent enough, why not go through the reduction surgery? I guess she also kind of likes having that size. She takes her bust size after her mom, and Miss Carmine is quite proud of her chest. Puffing out your chest is a sign of confidence, and a bigger chest means more confidence to show. She says something along those lines a lot. Stella has quite the admiration for her mom, so I guess breast reduction would feel like betraying her? Huh. Making it sound like she's hiding Jacobs or something like that. I guess in a taller or thicker person her size would be normal. She's just a bit shorter or thinner than the norm. You get self-conscious about your bust size, Jill? Not really. I'm more self-conscious about my height. Although it usually comes up whenever not being average height hinders me somehow. What about you? Yes and no? It's not my bust size, but rather that I look too manly sometimes. And I can't help but wonder if bigger boobs would help me with that. You're fine, don't worry. Thank you. Can I get you anything else? Do you have something non-alcoholic? I do, give me a sec. Let's see. I believe this one. Because it doesn't have the Carmotrine in it. And it's all blended. And it is Loca. It really is. Here. Thanks. You're not one to drink that much alcohol, are you? It makes me feel sleepy, or at the very least makes my legs go numb. It's an annoying feeling, to be honest. It makes me wonder what's so good about getting drunk. I mean, I'm not above it, but it's not exactly a pleasant feeling. You feel like you're sleepy even when you're not. Your legs go numb, everything starts sounding funnier than it really is. What's so good about not being able to control yourself? You get into a boss fight, you're hearing talks about boobs. Talk about a distraction? Yes. That's a good question, actually. Usually people like feeling numb because that numbness helps them forget their problems. Even if we don't talk about alcohol, there's a portion of people that can't afford food. Or who are suffering from pain that only alleviates when drunk or high. It doesn't sound really logical on paper, but then again, humans are rarely, if ever, logical creatures. Based. Despair and pain cloud your judgment and make you do stupid things sometimes. Yeah, I've seen that firsthand. This world has an ugly side nobody deserves to be a part of. Ahem. There's also a matter of addiction, you know? You start just liking the drink, but then you need more of it, and before you know it, you're hooked. Oh yeah, that too. So tell me, what kind of party are you guys throwing? Nothing fancy. It'll just be me, Boss Gil, and a couple of regulars. Oh, hi, Your Highness! Welcome! Hope you're having a wonderful evening so far. We're talking with the cinnamon bun. Behold the power of the cinnamon bun. For she is cinnamon. Incarnate. She kind of is, like, she's really sweet. Cinnamon bun! Yes. They'll bring food, we'll chat for a while, and that's it. Man, that sounds so good. At least better than the whole planning madness Stella is throwing right now. If you ever throw something like that again, let me know, you hear? Sure. Hey, say, yeah? What do you plan on doing now? I'm gonna check one last errand before going home. No, I mean, what do you plan on doing now with the White Knights disbanded and all? I'm glad to hear you're doing better. That makes me very happy. You have Pop-Tarts? How dare you not share them? I would like one. I love Pop-Tarts. I don't have them often enough. You don't have to share. I'll see about picking some up from the store tomorrow. Oh, you're fine. To be honest, I don't know. I never prepared a plan B because I figured if you can go with a plan B, why not just make it the plan A? I'm not the brightest person, so I never graduated from college or even high school. I could go for a position with the police, but it wouldn't be as thrilling. And I'm tired of blatant corruption. Sick of it. What flavor is my favorite? I like the strawberry one with frosting. That's always been my favorite one ever since I was a kid. So that's the one I like the most. Like, there's a bunch of different flavors, but I've just never liked any of them quite as much. Oh, but I'm alive. I learned something after that hell in Apollo Trust. Life is not something you can just throw away easily. Clawing my way out of that place made me realize just how much I want to be alive. The body count left in the bank was ridiculous, but I'm still here. I don't know what I'll do, but I'm alive. I'll figure it out sooner or later. You had s'more flavor? Ooh. I've tried that one once. It was a bit too much for me, surprisingly. Boston cream donut, apple fritter, and Eggo waffle. What? Used to eat 2 packs a day? Oh my goodness. I mean, you know, now we got a question for everyone. What is, everyone in the chat, what is your favorite kind of Pop-Tart? Or do you not like Pop-Tarts at all? I'm curious now. Regale me with your favorite flavors of Pop-Tart so I may try some. I jam out for a minute too. This is actually a good song. I like this. Just a little dance party. Fruit Loops won when it was out? Ooh. If you don't like them, you're wrong. Oh, goodness. Oh my goodness. I mean, to be fair, I know a couple of people who don't like Pop-Tarts, mainly because they can't have gluten. And Pop-Tarts are not exactly gluten-free. So, I mean, there's a reason. You're fine. You're fine, Your Highness. Cereal, you like almost any chocolate cereal? That is fair. When it comes to cereal, I think like the Cocoa Puffs and the off-brand equivalent are my favorites. I really like those, actually. But yes. Count Chocula. Oh my god, I used to love that so much. But now I'm at a point in my life where that's just a bit too sweet for me. Like, I still enjoy it from time to time, but it's not a cereal I could eat every day anymore. What? Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds. It's also a good choice. I have to be a bit careful because there was that time a while back where basically Honey Bunches of Oats had an issue where they ended up with some pecans in their cereal, and I was like, well, I can never touch this again. Sits in pure sugary diet. I mean, to be fair, some people can do that. Some people can indeed do that. I had to tone down my sugar intake over a while. Not for any particular reason, just that I got to a point where everything was just a bit too sweet. I'll still have it like a Coke here and there. And I'll still have like Oreos and things like that, but I try to eat a little bit better than I used to. I need to go make a giant batch of rice soon. I'll just dump soy sauce on it. Should I know? Do I? Yes. I mean, that's fair. God, okay, I have to say this right quick. Techno! Do you remember some of those conventions we went to where I basically lived off of sugar? All of the Pocky, all of the Ramune. That's basically what I lived off of for the weekend. So Techno and I used to be in our same little convention group that we would go to conventions in, and dear fucking lord, I would just live off sugar for the entire weekend. I would be wired. I'd come back to the room at like... God, there was one time I came back at like 6 in the morning. God, that was so long ago now. Oh my goodness. The older you get, the less you eat of things that are way too sweet. That's fair. I still love Pocky, and I still love Ramune, but I don't live off of them anymore. Oh my god. The olden days of yore. I mean, that's fair. Some people aren't affected by it. I know that I have to be a bit careful because diabetes runs on my father's side of the family, so I have to be a bit careful with it. Tea! Okay. That's nice to know! You tend to get sleepy? That's fair. Well, I gotta go. Bye, Jill! Good luck with the party! Please come again! Welcome to Valhalla! Oh, hi, Mr. Detective! Oh, hey there, girl. Oh, it's Art. Give me a strong drink, won't you? Alright. Let's see. By type. We'll give him... Type manly Mars Blast. Here we go. Let's see, 6, 1, 4, 2. All blended, okay. This game, I really enjoy it too, Palico. Boop! Take this! Here you go. Yes, this'll do. So what brought you here? Nothing special, I was just working on a case and I happened to be in the area. What kind of work? Tracking someone, a gun for hire? What about the girl, Crimson something? I am tracking that girl. Didn't you just get out of that job? I did, but the guy offered a huge amount of money and, well, I just couldn't refuse again. Well, it's your life, not mine. I wonder, though, there has to be more to that kind of thing than just acting as a middleman to look for some murderer. Say, how safe is this place? We're protected by the BTC property laws and the walls are soundproof. And I really couldn't give less of a shit about selling info to anyone. Okay, then wait, soundproof walls? Why? Did you see those vending machines outside? They're quite talkative, the bastards. It'd be annoying without those walls. Alright then. Have you heard of Lord Lance Lavender? That is one heck of a name. It is still not as good as Nacho Tumbleweed Jr. though. Nope. He's some big name from Kanyevania. His blood apparently has some weird reaction to Glitch City's nanomachines. Once in contact with the air, it does nothing. But if still fresh and touching someone's blood, the nanomachines will initiate a reaction. Essentially, they just eat through the other person's body until there's nothing left. We're using him as a guinea pig to see what causes that reaction, if it could be used to fight nanomachine rejection. Well, it turns out the Crimson Rose is his daughter. She left years ago to earn a living here, and he hasn't seen her ever since. He could be lying, you know. Doubt it, I did my research, she really is his daughter. Why did she figure that out earlier? I had no clue who was making the contract, and tracking all the messages to the source would have been costly. Knowing who the sender was made things easier. I see. Can I get you anything else? What about a cobalt velvet? Okay. A cobalt velvet. All on the rocks and mixed. Here you are! Oh, you actually did it! Were you expecting me to mess up so you didn't have to pay? No. So what made you accept the contract anyway, keeping in mind all the risk you told me last time? He told me he wanted to see her again one last time, or at the very least deliver her a message. He could have been lying. Yes, people lie, you made your point. Even then I felt like I couldn't say no. I mean, I know what it's like not being able to find your daughter. What it's like to be apart from her, not knowing what she's doing or even if she's alright. You do? I have a daughter. She's about your age. When she was a teen, we had a big fight and she ran away from home. At first I just waited for her to show up, but then I started getting worried and went out to find her. I couldn't find any trace of her. Nobody had seen her. Soon I was worried if something might have happened to her. I guess that's how my tracking skills and list of contacts began to grow. I finally found her, taking cover in some dumpster, unconscious from starvation. So yeah, I couldn't just say no to his request for finding his daughter. But I don't expect you to understand. So how's the search going? I'm very close to finding her. That girl's pretty good at covering her tracks. Compared to the her from before the bank incident, however, she seems slower somehow. Either she's let her guard down or something else is happening. What will you do when you find her? I have this letter I'm supposed to deliver to her. I don't know what it says and I don't want to find out. What if she tries to kill you? Might not look like it, but I can take care of myself, bartender. You don't stay so long in this business without picking up a couple of tricks. Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, I better get back to work before her trail goes cold. Please come again. Are you done? Yeah. Okay, then I want you here tomorrow at 8 p.m. No working beforehand. The bar will be closed tomorrow. Come dressed in your absolute best. We're having a party, after all. Alright. Where's Gil, by the way? He stored all of our things in his home because of how close it was to the stores, so I told him he could go home already and bring the stuff tomorrow. I see. Well, see you tomorrow, boss. Hold on, wait a bit and I'll go with you. Oh sure, thanks. Thanks for the hydrate, sis. I love how this one says, I know the small party is what you needed. And a posture check and a stretch. Thank you so much. I always appreciate that. Okay. Merry Mega Christmas. Let's celebrate Santa's resurrection as the Mega Santa that saved Christmas from the Redmonds. What? I don't understand. Santa's resurrection.
Bruh.
Exactly. I'm like, what the fuck? Merry Mega Christmas! Let us celebrate Santa's resurrection as the Mega Santa that saved Christmas from the Redmonds. Who are the Redmonds? I have a feeling we'll find out at the party tonight, but what is this? I don't understand. I don't understand at all. Oh my god, I'm done. Oh, Kiramiki. Mega Christmas is here. I'm way too used to Christmas, but the mega tradition here in Glitch City is mega comfy. I know it's an incredibly absurd name, and the holiday isn't any less crazy due to its origin, but I find it amazing on how GC managed to replace the original festivities. Some places celebrate Christmas eating fried chicken, but they outright changed the holiday. Well, it's not that different considering they have the same dates, but it's still pretty cool. Whoops, I gotta go. Time to sign some books. Merry Mega Christmas! Alright. Who came up with this and what the hell were they smoking and drinking when they did? Yeah, that's a good question. I would like some. Messages have suddenly stopped and everything is normal again. Lilim behavior has been rather unusual as of late. You can only imagine the confusion that we're going through. Not the first time. Let's not forget something similar happened 5 years ago when Lilim advancements were at its historic high. Fortunately, nothing came of it. Will it happen again? Time will tell. Alright. Give me just a minute. I'm gonna take a brief AFK. Sis, if you could run another ad break right quick, I'll be back within like a couple minutes. I have been drinking lots of tea and water and need to take a quick bio, so I'll be back in just a moment. And I'm back. Hello. We back. We're back to doing the things. Alright. A little sip of tea here. The honey is helping my throat so much. Alright. It's party day. Good evening. Jill, I told you to come in the nicest clothes you have. You came in your uniform. These are the nicest clothes I have with me. Besides, you and Gil are in your uniforms too. Well, I can't really show up in casual clothing. I'm being monitored. What about the kilt you wore that one time? I'm still surprised that one didn't break the dress code somehow. And you, Gil? I see you spazzing there, Loka. Whoosh. Dance party. Okay. I don't have that many clothes to begin with. You people depress me. Well, everything's in place back there. Ah, Alma's here. I know there was a time when people greeted others before saying stuff like that. Come on, Jill, greet her properly. Welcome to wait. Gil's just laughing his ass off. Man, if that's not a sign that you need to ease up on the work, I don't know what is. Shut up, it's become a reflex. Wait, Alma also came in her usual attire. Why aren't you saying anything to her? Ribbed sweaters get a free pass. Why? Silly question. Never mind. Jamie came earlier too. The dogs went with him to get some ice. Don't we have ice? Trying to take it out of the bartending station is a chore, so it's better to buy some outside. Huh. What were you doing back there, Alma? Setting up the food warmer. The what? I bought it 3 days ago. It's amazing. It looks like just a set of wires, but you can create a frame with them. Put the food inside there, press a button, and watch as it warms the food up just like a microwave. It's an infomercial bauble, though. Really useful, but tricky to handle at the same time. One wrong move and we'll be out of food for the night. Everything will be scorched in a second. Oh. So you bought infomercial stuff too? Haven't you? It's at the very least a good idea for gifts. Well... Dynamic entry! Dorothy just crashes in here. Finally, at least somebody came after me. Is it weird that I've already heard that 3 times in the last hour? Oh my god, how busy have you been? Oh my god! Dorothy! Oh, don't be like that. She's not saying it out of malice or anything. She just found it funny. This is why it's a late night stream. You're taking her side now? Jealous? You wish. You don't need to fight for me. We're not. I'll go check on the microwave wires thingy. I'm starting to get hungry. Great idea. Oh, hey! It's Jamie! Back. Oh. It looks like he came in carrying both of the dogs just under each arm. Hello, Jill. Nacho Tumbleweed Jr. Soldier, you're late! Hey, Jay! See, that's how you greet people. You shut it! I'll go help out, I'll go help Sweater Pups. Something wrong? She's not good with dogs. Oh. Alright, we're all here so we can start. Yo, Anchorage! Alma. I know what I said. How's the food doing? It's doing well, but it'll take a bit. Can't you speed it up? I've used those microwave wire things before. It's either warm nicely but slowly or burn that bitch. So how long? 15 minutes or so. A bell will ring when the time comes. We need to kill some time then. Alright, let's play Truth or Dare. What? I'll pass. Games are for kids. I'm in. Sure, I'll play. Sounds fun. As long as that mutt stays away from me. That'll make the time pass faster. I'll pat. You'll play. Oh no. Okay, actually, this is a really cute screen. What the hell? What the hecky? I like this screen. Alright, the rules are simple. If you get picked, you pick either Truth or Dare. After you finish, you get to pick someone else. We go like that until the food's done. What about punishment games? Those are a hassle. Just issue new questions or challenges until the other person complies. That said, Jill! Yes?! You start. Pick someone. Oh, let's see. Who should I pick? Chat! We have Dorothy. We have Dana. We have Gil. We have Rad Sheba. And we have Alma. Which one should we pick? So we got one for Alma. Anyone else? Anyone else? Once again, we have Dorothy, we have Dana, we have Gil, we have Rad Sheba, and we have Alma. Dana being our boss. So we got 2 for Alma, 1 for boss. So far, it's the favor is for Alma. So who else? Who else we got? Alma. Dana. Oh god. Okay. Anyone else? Last call. Last call to help pick who we are going to pester with truth or dare. I think we might get to have a couple rounds of this, but I don't know. So if we do, we'll go from Alma to Dana. So here we go. Alma. Let's go with truth. What's the most uncomfortable thing that has happened to those arms of yours? Uncomfortable. They get stuck a lot on clothes and fibers. Sometimes the joints get jammed with cloth. Just how much of those arms are mechanical anyway? Less than you think. The only things I truly lost were my hands. Those arm muscles are still mine, albeit with some enhancements. And my skin doesn't grow on them, they're covered by the plates. It's more of an enhancement than a replacement, really. Huh. Well then. Hey boss! Me? Truth or dare? Dare me. I dare you. Use an Argentina backbreaker on Nick. Surely. Nick! Whoa! I give! Only after you answer this. What? Does the name Joseph Valentine ring any bells? I know of a Joseph Shine, but not Valentine. Joseph Shine, alright then. I guess it's my turn. Hey Chief, can you drop me? Oh, right. Hey Jill, truth or dare? I'll pick dare. Pet the dog. Yeah, whatever. Come here, mutt. Yes, come on, pet me harder. Is this all you got? Ah, fuck you. Wonder how long until the food is done. Okay, you know what? Dorothy hasn't gone yet. We'll go with Dorothy this time. I was gonna go with Dana, but Dana actually went once, so we'll go with Dorothy. Dorothy. Yes, I picked dare! Okay, I want you to put your leg behind your head. Just that? Alright. So the extra flexible joints were just a bluff. I never bluff! I'm pretty sure I heard something rip, though. Okay, then Dana! I picked dare. I dare you to stare Honey straight in the eyes for 10 seconds. Sure. Please stop. 7 seconds. And done. Okay then, dog! Yes, challenge me! Chase your tail, but only make 3 spins. No more, no less. Oh my god, that... Alright! Done! That was 4. And now? 2. Ah! That was 3, good job. Alright! Hey Jay, pick one! Dare. I dare you to call me a good boy. Good boy. Yes! I'm getting hungry. Oh my god. Okay, we'll go with boss this time. Boss. I'll pick dare. Can you lift me with just your non-mechanical arm? Alright, you can! Please put me down! Well then, hey Gil, truth or dare? Can I really pick? Let's go with dare. Okay then, please cross your arms. Alright. Now turn a bit to the left. I mean my left. Oh. A bit more, and now stand still for a second. Boss, is that a picture? That it is. Nope, not even the same race. Sorry for the trouble. You were comparing me to a pic? Yup. Can I at least see it? No. Fine. A bell? Food's ready. Finally. Let's go. You guys go ahead. I'll have a quick smoke outside. Careful. Truth or dare, huh? It was fun, I guess. Hey. Out. I mean, hello. A bit late for a hello, don't you think? Want one? You know I don't smoke. True. Are you leaving already? Yeah, technically we celebrated Mega Christmas yesterday. But I just got a message that Diana's making a ruckus, so I gotta leave. Good luck with that. Speaking of ruckus, how have you been doing? Fine, I guess. All of this has helped keep my mind off things for a while. Is it weird to feel the absence of someone you had no contact with whatsoever for the last 3 years? Ask Katyusha, one of the old literature maidens whose spouse went off to war types. I mean, even if you had no contact with her, maybe she was constantly on your mind. If you tweak the circumstances, it's not that different from one of you going to war. I guess. Well, although the circumstances make me not want to, I've gotta go. Careful out there. Oh yeah, you should take the chance and spend this time with everyone inside, don't you think? Yeah, she's right. Hey, Jill's back! Oh? Huh. Looks like the moon got blasted. Moon's haunted. It's always haunted. Chapter 3, Dulce. Or Dulce. We're into the next chapter. Rent is due on the 30th. Please make sure your account has the necessary $10,000 or you'll be evicted. I mean, no, it's still haunted. It's haunted in almost every video game there's the moon. Let's be real here. Alex doll's beard actually grows. Buying it will prevent her from getting too distracted. Okay. She bought what she wanted and she's pleased with herself. She will surely focus on work. So I gotta pull together 10 grand by the 30th and we're on the 26th. Okay. Alright. You've been using that hoodie a lot, lady. Shut up! Going back to work. I forgot to save. Whoops. Good evening! Hey Jill, Gil is in the back sorting an ingredient shipment and I've got things to do. The dog's in charge. Okay, bye! What? Wait, the dog what? Okay, first order, pet me. No. Pet me. No. I'm in charge and I want you to pet me. I love that I'm in charge and I want you to pet me. Oh my god. Imagine working for a dog, it would just be pets and play all the time. Time to mix drinks and change lives. Hey Jay. Won't pet you. You'll pet me sooner or later. They all do. Threatening Sheba is threatening. Won't. Will! You called? He said Will, not Gil. Ah! Who the hell is Will? Nobody! Don't be rude with poor Will. There's no Will. Do you need me to psych you up then? Shut up! Who? Me or Will? Ah! You go back to whatever you were doing. Alright. And you, stand by! Only if you pet me. Go! I love how rad she was just like, pet me! It's like, no. Pet me! No! There's a matchable girl on TV. Guys, we have an animu on the TV. You would hate working with such a bitch. Oh my god. The fuck just happened? Oh god, it's this guy again. Ah! Mailer soon. Look at the name, sis. Look at the name. Look at the name. He's back. Ugh. Fucking. I don't want to deal with him today. Well, aren't we spirited today? Welcome to Virgilio? Why do you sound so weirded out? You didn't show up with a bombastic soliloquy. Well, putting up an act can be tiring, you know? So it's all an act then. Wasn't it obvious? I guess. Would you mind getting me a Bleeding Jane? He's ordering directly! Amazing! Normally he would like take 20 minutes and give us a whole soliloquy about how it's something thing, but he's ordering directly. Thank No, in the last episode when we talked to him, Jill snapped at him and said, just order things normally! Because she was very upset. So, that video is still on the channel if you guys want to go watch the VOD and see how the progression has been. Let's see, Virgilio wants a bleeding Jane. So. And bleeding Jane. Yes, this is just the thing. So tired of putting on an act. Care to explain? It's a long story, and I'd honestly rather not talk about it right now. Fair enough. What made you change your mind, though? Well, for one thing, it's safer for me now. The pompous buffoon act was mostly a way to avoid raising suspicion. Safer? That's a word that's been losing meaning lately. Wait, that was your way of avoiding suspicion? Yes. You do know how weird that sounds, right? It sounds weird. You try not to raise suspicion, but you act in a bombastic manner that screams you're there. And everyone dismisses the fool as a buffoon and moves on. Eh? I mean, you might be right if we're talking about hiding myself, but I'm avoiding certain crowds of people. Yes, my behavior might call everyone's attention, but then everyone just decides I'm harmless and disregards me. And depending on how erratic my actions are, I become harder to read. Giving me yet another layer of enigma. Huh. Well, congrats, no offense, but I fell right into your plan. I just dismissed your actions as those of a fool and moved on. You completely fooled me. Thanks. Say, can you give me something spicy? Sure. Something spicy, something spicy. Spicy! Aged on the rocks and mixed. Here. Aren't you fascinated by spiciness? What's spicy for humans might not be spicy for other animals. Hell, what's toxic for us might not be for other creatures. Do you like spicy things, bartender? I don't mind them, I guess, but I'm not really a fan. That neutral stance is actually weird to come across. Everyone either loves spicy things or hates them with a passion. Do you like it? Lots. Not only in regards to painfully spicy things, but also the way mild or slight spice adds to a meal. I've always had this dream of opening a curry stand. As things are, I might actually pursue that dream. Let me know if you do. I haven't had curry in ages now. Hey, bartender. Call me Jill. I wanted to apologize. You put up with me all this time without lashing out. I should apologize for my behavior, and thank you for that. Don't worry, I actually feel like I was too rude to you last time you came in. Granted, you came at a really bad time, but I should be the one apologizing. You're a client, after all. Well, don't. I'm actually surprised that nobody else had violently lashed out at me yet. You're making me curious as to who you really are, though. Is Virgilio even your real name? It might be, it might not. Sometimes I even wonder if I'm a magnet for people who hide their identities in sordid pasts. There's a lot that come to this bar that hide a lot of stuff. Gil, Jamie, you. Did you say something? Just rambling, pay me no mind. Now that I think about it, how did you find this bar? I was avoiding some chaps and came to this alley. Huh, again. Again? In my time here, I've heard avoided people and ended up here enough times to make me believe that the original owner built the bar here thinking about the runaway public. You make me sound like a criminal. You're not helping. The expression runaway doesn't just mean people escaping the law, though. We've had people avoiding stalkers or solicitors. I've seen people more shocked by an insistent salesman than a shady figure. Maybe because the salesman is more of an active predator? I don't know. A troublesome part of the city right now... right near the shopping district. Let them know there's a bar and they'll come. Sorry, I should stop rambling to myself so much. I don't mind it. Do you think I'm the sort of criminal, though? Like I said, you're not helping. But for all I know, you might be the buffoon I've seen the other days. In any case, can I get something bitter here? On it. Bitter. Giving him all the expensive drinks tonight. All the expensive drinks tonight. I gotta pay my rent. Here. This works. Do you like coffee, Miss Bartender? As weird as it may sound from a smoking bartender, no I don't. Well, I get it. It's not for everyone. That cat boomer the other day. What about her? Still scared of her? Not really, but she looks so familiar. Maybe you're mixing her up with another cat boomer? No, that's not it. It's like the bandaged girl from last time. Even with the bandages, there's just something really familiar about her. Maybe you need to stop thinking about it. Answers usually come when you stop stressing out. You might be right. Well, I leave you for now, bartender. Thanks for everything. Please come again. Welcome to Valhalla. Oh, hello, Mr. Detective. Oh, he's back. He's already back. Okay. And here we are, another mute person wandering into the bar. Anything I can get you? Gut punch. Okay. just gut punch. Here. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, sis. As always, I appreciate it. Oh, you got it right. So what's up now? A bit of holiday blues, you could say. So you celebrate Mega Christmas? Why wouldn't I? You looked more like a Festivus kind of guy. Why does everyone keep saying that? Well, Festivus is the celebration that goes against capitalism madness that is Mega Christmas. And you know, cheapskate. If you have something to say, say it. I'll refrain. Although now that I think about it, holiday blues is not really tied to a specific celebration. Just the season. A season of consumerist craze. Mega Christmas is just a mockery of what the real Christmas once was. I mean, the season has slowly become enslaved to the corporations over time. This is more based stuff! Holiday spirit can only be manipulated so much. And then came the Turbo Male guy. He started a yearly tradition of dressing up like Santa on the ring. Turbo Male? That can't be his ring name. It is. Really? Such a tacky name was accepted? His partner was Buster Master and his rival was Dr. Chris Max. Tacky names are not a problem. I mean, I knew there was a wrestler that dressed up as Santa every year. I also knew that the guy became insanely popular and the stunt got out of control. And of course, that's the part everyone sings about. Santa became Nega Santa thanks to the Redmond family. Nega Santa sees the error of his ways and becomes the mighty Mega Santa, renaming the holiday Mega Christmas. And then every company jumped on the bandwagon and Christmas was Mega Christmas before anyone noticed. So you're telling me that the guy who somehow managed to rename the holiday went by the ring name Turbo Male? Yep. That makes the whole holiday sound like a joke. Holiday is a joke. This is such a based conversation. What the hell? And you're telling me you don't celebrate Festivus? No, I don't. You know what kind of people celebrate Festivus? The kind that's so lame and bland that they only talk about how they're better because they celebrate Festivus. Like those jerks who only eat Nuke and think they're better than everyone else. I see. Anything else I can get you? Give me a Fringe Weaver, will you? Sure. Fringe Weaver time. One of these and then 9 of these. Aged mixed. Here. Alright, thanks. So, any issues with the city lately? What's the word on the street? Shouldn't I be asking that? There's nothing new, really. The lynchings of White Knight stopped, so there's that. Really? Something about the armor. I haven't gotten much on that one yet. All in all, the madness following the attack on the bank seems to have settled down a bit. That's good to hear. Have any other details about the attack emerged yet? All records of whatever happened there have been long deleted. Security cam, system logs, everything was wiped. Whatever happened there, it's become even more of a mystery now. Wonder if Say plans on testifying. Does anyone know if Say went there in the first place? Maybe the wiping of everything actually protects her somehow. Hey bartender, you okay? Sorry, I got distracted. There's not much to say, really. There's the odd silly rumor here and there, like the vending machine's tasers malfunctioning and applying more strength. Oh. That's not good. Or the writer of The Last Rain in the World is actually living here as a brain in a jar. That... I met him! But those are the kind of rumors you just hear from crackheads. Crackheads might hold the one last piece of info you need, but you also hear crap like that. I see. Anyway, I'm leaving. Happy New Year, bartender. Please come again. Okay then, oh, no wait, she's out. Gil, you there? Yeah, taking your break? Let me know if someone comes in. Break time! Now I save, because I forgot to. I'm gonna take a brief moment to sip some more tea. How's everyone doing tonight? Y'all enjoying the stream so far? Oh, my tea got cold. Blah. Oh well. It's still coating my throat and that's what matters. Heck yee! Okay. I'm glad to hear it. Sipping on beer shandy. I got tea and I got water. And that's what I'm existing on right now. Just finished Ninja for the night, up to 75 from 72. Nice! Congratulations! We're going back in. Things are pretty quiet outside. Good. That's a good thing. Let's see, where's dusk? Where's dusk? Jill! Ah, Miss Kim. Just call me Kim. It sounds weird to be called Miss. You seem to be in a good mood. I got some money on Mega Christmas. Wouldn't you be happy? I guess. What can I get you? I'll have a beer. Okay. Beer time. Here. Thanks. So how have you been doing? Pretty good, actually. My hair stopped falling out, my appetite is coming back. I hadn't realized just how much the newspaper was weighing on me until I quit. I suddenly stopped feeling defeated. I actually felt like I achieved a victory. Like I got a hold of my own life. So nice to hear. Oh yeah, I'll start bartending training in January too. Huh, really? Yeah, I did some research and it sounded cool. BTC gives you many benefits, so it sounds like a good thing to do for the time being. I don't know if it's what I want to do for the rest of my life, but it's a good start. It'll give me time to think on the next course of action. A bit of advice, don't go for BTC housing plans unless you absolutely have to. You have to sign a contract for at least 5 years of service with a cut in pay and tips. I was gonna go for that one, but I backed down a bit at the last minute. How do you back down a bit? Well, I took a chance when the BTC found me an apartment. And instead of signing the BTC contract, I just asked for a regular one. I still have no idea how I got away with that one. I thought those apartments were built by them or something. Back in England they are. They have their own real estate companies. Apartment complexes where they have the means to give discounted rooms to employees. But in this city, Reality Nua holds an unspoken real estate monopoly, so BTC can't easily offer such promises. Oh! Reality Nua is a bit weird as far as companies go. Their name has become synonymous with quality, a brand built around certain expectations. But the truth is that Reality Nua has done little to no work in the last 10 years or so. Really? I mean, when they started, they managed to sell and build up plots of land that everyone gave up on. They became a big name as far as real estate goes. But in reality, the company itself has actually done less than you'd think over the years. Most of the time, they're cashing in on their established properties or letting others work with them. I believe in the last 10 years or so, they've only started around 3 or 4 new projects. And they're all expansions of their already established ones. You seem to know a lot about it. Nah, I've just read a lot about it over time, especially after hearing my landlord ramble about them. I think it's all on par for the course for real estate companies, though. But it's true that when you hear a name so much, you expect something, I don't know, different. Not enough rambling on my side. You must be thirsty. Can I get you anything else? Let's try a sugar rush. Okay. Sugar rush, I feel like I've been serving them a lot lately. Because you have. Here you go. Yay! Actually, Jill, I came here today to thank you. Me? Yeah, back when I first showed up here, I was in a really rough spot. I was shocked, I was tired, I was a total mess. So, for those who haven't been here, basically what happened to Kim is Dana brought her in, the boss did, because she had collapsed in the street, and put her on the couch and let her sleep here for a while, and then when she woke up she accused us of a bunch of different types of things, all of which were highly unsavory. Then she came back later and apologized, and then now she's here doing this. So yeah, it's been an interesting run with her. I even said some really mean things, but you had patience with me. Yes, she did at one point spam murder, 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 murder. We were like, oh. Not to mention you helped me cool down and your boss saved me. And I don't know, I felt like I had to tell you all that before the year ended. Much appreciated, thanks. But anyway, how are you doing? Last time you were a bit off. I'm better now, thanks a lot. Glad to hear. It was weird to see you like that. It always felt like you were putting up a cool bartender act. It did? You don't? I don't. Are you sure? What you saw as cool bartender act is what everyone else has described as being cold. I mean, cold and cool do mean the same, but... Now, I don't try to put up that act. Sorry to disillusion you. I'm too much of a mess to do such a thing. Huh. Disappointed? Surprised, actually. What led me to believe that you were putting on an act? And more importantly, how can I make use of it when I get assigned to a bar? I must investigate further. Good luck with that. Say, let's try something bubbly now. Alright. By flavor. Bubbly! So, Cobalt Velvet is, I think, the most expensive? No, yeah, actually it is. Okay, we'll give her Cobalt Velvet then. And rocks are next. Here. Thanks! Hey Jill, I'm gonna need some ice. Ah, boss. Boss? Oh, I know you. Thank you, thank you! Hey, nice to see you're fine. I'm more than fine, I'm alive, I'm here. I avoided my biggest mistake of my life thanks to your timely intervention. I don't know what overcame me, I just felt like everything was shouting. I couldn't stop the shouting, so I just felt like, thank you! Don't ever mention it. Don't even mention it. I just did what I felt was right. Jill, ice please. Right. Are you alright? Did you seek help? I know a couple people that could help you. Don't worry, I'm perfectly fine. I've gone to a therapist a couple of times, but he says I'm okay. Something overcame me, but you intervened and I don't know what to say. You already said thank you, seeing as that you're fine is more than enough for me. I should have come here to thank you earlier, I owed you that at least. Don't worry, just go out and be happy. You have a second chance, so use it as best as you can. I will. I'll be leaving. Happy New Year, Jill, and thank you again. Please come again. So a couple weeks ago I read some news about a woman saving a suicidal girl, catching her midair. Would you know something about that, boss? Maybe, maybe not. Whoever it was probably just did it because it was the right thing to do. Feeling lonely? That voice. Hey Joe, long time no see. Really long time no see. Seriously, it feels like it's been over a year since I last saw you. I was planning on visiting you last week, but things were pretty heavy back then. So I just waited until in the background until the tension wore off a bit. So she's the one we saw at the beginning of the game that caused the screen and everything to glitch out, and now suddenly the TV in the back has no signal. Earth to Joe, I'm talking to you here. If I ignore her, she'll leave. I'm not an unfathomable sense of dread. You can't just ignore me, you know? Julianne Stingray, I'm talking to you. Calm down, don't fall for her taunts. How does she know my full name, though? I thought your full name was Julianne Natalie Stingray, or did you legally remove the Natalie? Never mind that. Yeah, she's glitching. Is she reading my thoughts? Yeah, I mean, they're kind of written in the middle of the screen. Oh my god! We got a fourth wall break! Hard not to see them, actually. Alright, that's it, I'm going crazy. That's such a self-centered way to see the world. You assume that you're crazy because you can't accept this world could be weirder than you think. This world is amazing because of the things you just can't explain. And just because only you experience something doesn't mean it's a lie or that you're crazy. I mean, just look at ASMR. No, I'm pretty sure that's what a crazy person would say in this scenario. You acknowledged me! Shit! Welcome to the character who is aware that she's in a game. Good! Fourth wall break. That's good. I'm not serving you anything. What? Why? Last time you came here, I had to clean the drinks I served you off the floor. Don't be like that. The drinks were also paid for with my money. I don't know how you did it, but that set any and all plans I had for the rest of the week off balance. I was gonna buy some curry with the money I had put up for those. Dog duty done. I know we are having slow days, but for God's sake, you okay? You look angry. I'm fine. Good job out there. I'm back. Ah, boss, what happened? We didn't cut short. At least I drank the the bottles. Are you okay? You look distraught. I'm fine. So they really can't see you. I mean, you're right in front of them. And you're wearing jeans under a skirt. This was the girl that the Lilum saw. Why? Just why? To annoy people, of course. Is that a new trend? What does she think she's doing? Everyone feels like it's not quite right. Everyone thinks they should call you out. But they can't bring themselves to do it because it's not that wrong. There are things like spats, after all. And it's uncannily right. Not all that wrong, and they can't stop staring. Not like anyone other than me could see it, though. They could see it if they wanted to. Jill, you're making an awful lot of faces there. You okay? Yeah, just remembering stuff. Man, I miss not being crazy. Boss, I'm leaving early today. Can you stay here? Who stays where? Crap, did I just... You have to be the first person I've met who mixes their inner and outer voice. I thought I saw one of the dogs near the counter. Sorry. Oh, okay. Can I leave a bit earlier today? Sure, thanks for taking care of the fort. What about me? You haven't left yet. I'll thank you when you leave. That's not what I... Whatever. Here's something in case you felt lonely today. Aw. Thanks, boss! Night of the ID Snatchers. Buying a poster will prevent her from getting too distracted. Damn it. Oh shit, I didn't mean to... I messed up. I meant to save. I didn't mean to click go to work. God damn it, and I haven't saved for a bit. Yeah, I haven't saved for a bit. Shit. It's okay. So a New Year's party this Saturday. Isn't that a bit soon? Why, did someone famous get killed at a New Year's party? No, I mean, never mind. Sure, I'm in for it. Great. And Gil? He's coming too. I mean, it's not like he has anything else to do. They have fantastic outfits. Hey. No, I mean, where is he? He was escorting a client of his to the station. He should be back any second now. Back! See? So you coming to the New Year's party too, Gil? It's not like I have anything else to do, so... I told you. We're depressing people. Oh yeah, the kid from the other day, Gabby, I think you called her, asked me to give you this. I believe it's a note. A note? Gabby? Let's see. First of all, I want to apologize for my behavior before. I was still hurt by my sister's death, and it wasn't fair to take out all the stress on you, let alone put the blame on you. And so it feels weird to ask this of you after how I treated you, but I really want to talk to you. I want to catch up, to chat for a while, to do what we were doing with me before I lashed out. I want to understand this freedom you talked about, the fear that drove you to a fight with my sister. I'll go back to the bar on the 31st. I won't take much of your time. If you don't want to see me after all that, I'll understand. But please, I really want to talk to you. Gabby. Well, that girl has a big vocabulary. She was always a smart one. Where can I find me a tight turtleneck to wear under a collared shirt? Probably a sporting goods store. Get some Under Armour. The 31st is written in different handwriting. Oh yeah, she asked me when you would be here and relatively free, so I told her about the party. I also assumed you'd say yes to the party, which might not have been the best idea now that I think about it. Boss, I'm having second thoughts about coming to the party. What? Why? Because I really don't want to face Gabby again. Now it's coming back to me what drove me to never go back and apologize to her after all these years. Fear and shame. Shame because I know I made a hideously stupid mistake and it's painful to face your mistakes. And fear of what they might say. With Lenore, we never broke up formally, so I was always afraid that if we were to meet again, she'd break up with me. And I don't want Gabby to tell me that she hates me to my face. Lenore was in the right to break up with me, and Gabby is in the right to hate me. But I don't want her to. Maybe if I never see her again, she'll never be able to tell me that. And Jill, you idiot! Eh? You're thinking backward. Didn't the letter say she wanted to understand you? If you bail out of this, she will hate you. Not only that, but you're getting a new chance here. Do you want to live the rest of your life running from another memory? Didn't you just say to Armitage that you hate feeling like that? Armitage? Titty hacker. Alma, right. I don't know what happened when you fought with that girl's sister. But now you have a chance to make amends. And not only that, you have us watching your back. So I want you to think about this. One day of fear or a lifetime filled with regret. Which one do you pick? Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I hated feeling like that. I won't run away this time. Good, because I would have gone to your apartment and dragged you out of there if need be. Hey, boss. Thanks. That's what friends are for. Yeah. Anyway, let's start the day. I left off on dusk. I'm not actually Synth Stitch. So... time to mix drinks and change lives. Seriously though, that's the second note that has stirred such feelings in me. Second one? 2 weeks ago I got another note in the mail. This one is from Lenore. Was that the envelope you took away from me in a panic? Yep. You haven't opened it? Why not open it with Gabby? You're facing one fear, might as well face the other. Maybe. Don't push her, Chief. I'm not, I just know she's capable of doing all that. I'll go secure stuff for the party. Call me if you need anything. Keep it up, Jill. Thanks. Happy holidays! It's Stella! Someone's happy. We held a party for the staff and their children. You should have seen the faces of those kids receiving gifts. Nabbing that Santa suit at the last minute the other day was totally worth it. Santa dresses seem to have been popular this year. I heard they were sold out in most places. There was this weird shortage of Santa suits, but luck was on my side this year. I'm sorry for that outburst. Why, you look so happy and felt so happy I felt happy too. You shouldn't hide your happiness. Anyway, can you give me a cobalt velvet, please? Sure. And the rocks and mixed. Here. Thanks. Are you meeting with Say today? She should be here in a bit. She told me she wanted to drink here, and since I was coming here too. Sadly, I can't stay for long. I have some errands to run. How's she been lately? She's better. Her wounds have been healing really nicely. If only she stopped scratching at her bandages so often. What about her eye? Eye? Oh, hers. Sorry. Ahem. It'll take longer for it to heal. But as long as it's kept clean, there should be no problem. But to be honest, I'm more worried about her emotional wounds. She doesn't show it, but she's had depressive bouts from time to time. And who can blame her? Her life changed completely. The job she loved no longer exists, and she was used as a disposable pawn in the whole bank affair. I'm afraid it will all make her go back to her old ways. Old ways? There was a rough spot when Say was a teen. Her mom's clinic was about to close, then her biological father, who was an asshole, showed up. And the teachers at her school didn't help. Say is not a slow learner by any means, but her way of learning stuff is different. She needs equivalences to things she knows. You need to get a bit in her mindset. Once you get this, she's a fast learner, but schools don't have that type of patience. They basically branded her a failure. She even dropped out. I would have suggested a special course somewhere else, but that would have offended her. She's always been against being labeled as special or different. Anyway, Say was totally different during that period. Foul mouth, short-fused, always frowning, the total opposite of how she is nowadays. From time to time I see that old look cross her face and it scares me. You're comparing her to her teen self though. People mature. Maybe she'll show signs from time to time, but I bet Say knows better than to go back to that. I hope so. Give me something cold and sweet, will you? Sure. Let's see, sweet drinks. Age next. Type. Flavor sweet. Cold and sweet. Here we go. So her distraction is down here, so I don't get the review. Here. Thanks. This is the kind of stuff Say asks for, you know. I'll let you mention it. So I take it Say's family situation isn't exactly fine and dandy, huh? It's a mess they've tried to fix over time, and I'm glad to say they've actually done it. Say's mom had a really abusive relationship with Say's biological father. Sadly, like many women in that situation, she just tried to justify his actions. But apparently things got nasty when Say's mom, Miss Emmy, got pregnant. At that point, she had an epiphany, one could say. She didn't want that guy to raise her child, so she finally sought help. Things weren't so easy, though. Before the authorities could take him away, Miss Emmy got a serious beating from him. She still uses a cane to walk thanks to that. She moved here, Say was born, she started a veterinary clinic. So did he come back? He was drunk and couldn't find any drugs, so he made it to the city. He caused a ruckus for a couple of days until Say managed to scare him off. How? She beat him to near death 3 times. God damn! Some more tea. Okay. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but... Oh, don't worry, I laugh too. The dramatic irony there is delicious. I've been wondering, can you really be so calm in the lower parts of the city? I mean, the streets are not exactly safe. And a cat boomer is sure to become a target. Well, I have my security staff with me at all times, so there's no problem. Besides, this part of the city is comfier. From talking dogs to personal issues, yeah. Come again? Sure, Uptown is cleaner and maybe more secure, but it's also too sterile. Around here, you can actually feel the warmth of the people. You feel there's people living. Especially like going to a busy food stand. I feel the warmth there that the Uptown doesn't have. Thank you for the posture check, the hydrate, and the stretch. Okay. Okay. It's also easier to talk to people. You finally came. Welcome. Say! The cinnamon bun is back! If you try to talk to someone in the upper part of the city, they'll either shrug you off or flat out ignore you. People around here are a bit wary, but they're also more likely to talk to you. Not that things aren't nice there, though. Can I get you something? I feel like having a beer. Make that 2. But I just want 1. I'm asking for 1 for me, adding 1 to your order. Oh, that, right. So 2 beers. There we go. Welcome back, Kito. Here. Thank you. Thanks. Say, you should have seen the kids after you left. They were all playing with the toys you picked. You nailed it again this year. They were all asking, where's Say? Where's Say? What do they call you just Say when they call me Auntie Stella? I don't look that old. Don't worry, they still like you. Sorry I had to leave, but Mom worked overtime that night and I couldn't leave her alone. What happened? Well, there were fireworks, and some dog thought it'd be safe to hide in a jar. The little guy managed to get his head and paw inside before getting stuck. And it was plastic, so they couldn't just try and break it. That's messy. She needed someone to hold the dog while she worked. Poor fellow was scared. Well, I'm out. Oh yeah. We'll have a New Year's party this Saturday if you want to come. Sure, it's better than depressing myself with my dad's woes about the next fiscal year. I'll be here. Bye, Jill. Bye, Say. Careful! Please come again. You wanna come too? I'd love to. I'll also make up for not coming last time. How was the party? Pretty nice. We played Truth or Dare. Had some fun, broke some glasses. Ate lots and lots of food. Seriously, looking back, the amount of food was ridiculous compared to the number of people who were there. Better leftovers than left hanging, don't you think? Yeah. Can I get you something? Let's try something classy. Okay. Classy. By type, classy. I'll get our Mercury Blast. On the rocks and blended. Something classy. Yep, this is the thing. Stella came in quite cheery about Sunday. This Sunday? Oh yeah. Well, you know, her birthday is actually the 25th. Really? There's a weird story from when she was a kid. She heard Mega Santa's story and somehow she got it into her head that by being born on the 25th, she was the spiritual reincarnation of the original Santa. That made her start giving out gifts like crazy. Oh my god! She got over it, but the gifting stuck to her. Spiritual reincarnation? Well, the story says the Redmond family destroyed Santa's spirit, and that Mega Santa was reborn as a manifestation of the Christmas spirit. She thought she was the old Santa spirit in a new body. That girl was delusional as a kid. Huh. Speaking of things you did when you were young, Stella mentioned she's worried about you going back to your old ways. Something about a rough period where you were angry or something? Oh, that. It's sweet that she's worried, but I won't go back to those days just like that, though. Even if I face the same situation, I'm more mature, you know? I'm not a teen anymore. Expected as much. Told her as much. Hey, can you give me something bubbly? Sure. Bubbly. You know what? I'll give her a cobalt velvet. And it's on the rocks and mixed. Here. Bubbly, bubbly. Hey Jill, this might seem a bit random, but do you remember the first time I came here? Yeah, you're the second white knight I've served. I remember. Why? Precisely because of that. I've been meaning to ask you about the story. How was your other experience with the white knight? If I had to put it simply, the total opposite of you. Oh? She came here as part of her work looking for information on some case. I went through the motions offering her a drink and all that, but she came only for her job. At first I thought she was just another private eye, but she showed me her badge and all. What kind of case was it? I wouldn't know. She never told me, but she asked if I saw some people. She got pretty intense when I told her I had no idea who she was talking about. I suggested she ask the vending machines outside, and they told her the suspect climbed on them. She got her info and she left, pretty professional, if a bit intimidating. She seemed personally invested in the case, though. The way she lost her cool was suspicious. You seem to be pretty good at reading people, Jill. It makes me kinda jealous. Nah, I'm not good at that. It's just coincidence that I noticed it. But you noticed it. I'm not good at reading people. Even if the cue was thrown in my face, I wouldn't be able to see it. I'm sure you could compensate that with another skill. Any particular reason you asked me about that event? Not really. I just found the fact that it was the only other white knight you've served weird. I mean, really? Just two? Weird, I know. I've spent most of my life with almost no interactions with the white knights until I met you. Means you've had a nice life, then. That sounded creepier than I thought. A bit, yeah. Well, I'm done for today. Thanks, Jill. Please come again. I'll go take my break, Gil. Sure. We're on break time. I have Blue over here being sweet. Hi, Blue! She's being all cute. Okay. The scribblies. How's everyone doing so far? You enjoying the story? I hope so, because it's an interesting one. I'm gonna have another sip of my remaining tea here. Boo, you climbed on a box. Boo! Boo! She's like, this box is mine, I'm not moving, I won't give it up. Alright. I wonder if I left food for 4. With that. Did she forget to feed her cat? Okay, I'm here. Dorothy. You won't get through the bar anytime soon. You can stop walking. Ah, honey. You want something? Usual, I guess. Usually. Oh no, she's glitching. Are you okay, Dorothy? What? Is she okay? I'm concerned. She was just walking into the bar. Oh my goodness, okay. So... she does like... yeah... she likes girly and sweet. Here. Here's something nice and simple. Actually, I'm gonna give her a big one. Here you go. Okay, you're freaking me out. What's up with you? Hey honey, how do you know it's real? How so? I mean, how do you know if what you see is an actual thing? How can you tell if what you see around you is actually happening? What tells you everything is not actually a fabrication? Are you okay? Doing good, about to switch to your phone as you get ready for bed? That is fair. What tells me I'm not just a simulation in a computer? And those ponderings brought you to the bar? What? Oh, I'm in the bar. Am I? Dorothy. So you're having a solipsistic crisis, of course. What? Solipsism. The theory that the self is only a thing that can be known to exist. See, that's another thing right there, that word. Solipsism. What does it even mean? Where the hell did it come from? Well, solus means alone and ipsi means self. Yes, but how did it come to be? Do you expect me to believe that a lot of people just randomly decided to make noises and decided, hey, let's make this noise mean this? It doesn't make sense. Words don't make sense. I've been repeating words for a long time and they've stopped making sense. Why? Calm down. That's just somatic satiation. Stop making up words, honey. And then there's this counter. How can I be sure this counter is really here? It is. Please stop tapping on it. Hold on, just making sure. She's having a tough time. I'll make her a piano woman. Stop tapping on the counter so much. I'm this close to throwing this in your face. Sorry. So let's start from the beginning. Since when did you have this existential crisis? Since earlier today, I think. I was remembering the good times I had with my guardian, but I don't know, it was all too sudden. I was thinking about everything that happened from a week ago until now. How much fun I was having, how much I loved everyone around me. And out of nowhere, the thoughts started piling up in my mind. What is love? What is fun? Are those feelings real? Is all of that real? Am I real? What tells me I'm actually in a body? What if I'm just some computer somewhere thinking it has a body? What if I'm just a human girl in a comatose dream? What tells me that you're real? Eh? For all I know, I might just be a figment of someone's imagination. Or even just an AI simulation in some computer that thinks it's human. I've been there, Dorothy. That existential doubt and crisis, that uncertainty about whether or not things are real. It was a couple of months only, but I remember having panic attacks and scratching my arm to feel something. But the panic attack gave me a rush of adrenaline, so I couldn't feel the scratch and the fear got worse. What did you do to get over it? Oddly enough, I read a book. The Last Reign in the World, one of my favorites. At one point I cried with the book and I realized I was crying over fake things, a story and its characters. I didn't care less for them because they were fake. Why not think of reality like that too? Even if I'm a figment of someone's imagination, I'd still care about you. That's what I told myself, at least. It wasn't immediate, but that focus helped me. I like it. Hey, can I take this drink? I made it for you. Thanks, okay then. What? She dumped the drink on her head. Phew, why did you throw it on your head? To feel something you made, and? It burns and itches a bit. I'll get you a towel. Delivery for Dana's. Oh, I've been here before. Oh, it's this guy! Mr. Mario, welcome back! I have a delivery for Dana Zane. Who's that? She's my boss. I'll get her. Right, sign here, please. It's a big package. I wonder what's inside. You should open it if it's something perishable. Maybe it'll need to be refrigerated. Let's see. It's a wiener. A really big wiener. Hey, honey. The big package had a big wiener inside. Leave it to Dorothy. Leave it to Dorothy. What will your boss do with such a thing? I don't know how she'll cook it. Perhaps she'll chop it? Honey, seems like the wiener is too big to eat correctly. Stop. Maybe you could prepare some right now? What do you say, honey? Do you want some of your boss's wiener? I don't.
Bruh.
Seriously, Jill? She's making the jokes. And you're the one trying not to laugh too hard at them. Anyway, we all know if we dare cook this without her permission, she'll hang us upside down. She'll hang me upside down. Hey, Jacket Boy, what's your name? I'm Mario. Come on, Mario, I'll buy you a drink. You might have another delivery, you know. This is my last one, actually. I'll accept your offer. I have a sunshine cloud. And you? I'm fine. Sunshine cloud, okay. He's actually ordering what he wants now. That's good. Gotta blend it, hang on. Here. Thanks. Hey, call me Dorothy. You can also call me Darling for the right amount. Yeah, Dorothy, why did you buy me a drink? Just to let you know, I don't swing that way. What way? Lilum? I'm a man's man. I like men, okay? Not that there's anything wrong with liking women, but... Oh, don't worry. I wasn't hitting on you. I was thanking you. Thanking me? Your package let me see Honey here laughing like an idiot. It's easier than you think. That made me happy, and I don't know, it fit with what she was telling me earlier. I'm more calm than when I entered. Glad to help, I guess. Well, duty calls. Bye, Mario. Bye, John. Bye, Honey. Enjoy your big wiener. Out with you. She seems like a nice girl. I don't mean for it to sound like I get it. Don't worry. You like guys. It's clear. Speaking of, you like motorcycles, don't you? I do, yeah. Have you been in the motor district? I spend all of my free time in the motor district, actually. Why? Is it true what they say about all the illegal races going on there? You're not a cop, are you? As far as I remember, no. Well, I mean, there are illegal races, but there's also semi-legal league going on there. Semi-legal? The authorities acknowledge that there's races going on. They don't know what goes on in them, however. Modified engines, casualties, substance abuse. The illegal ones end up being safer in the end. Huh. Have you heard about a biker called Christine Love? Miss Love, of course, everyone knows who she is. What about her? Is her gang as dangerous as they say? I don't know. Nobody knows. Excuse me? They look intimidating enough, but the truth is that nobody has faced them directly. Moreover, nobody wants to be the one that got beaten to a pulp if they turn out to be what they seem. So her gang is just there, menacingly doing their own thing, not bothering anyone. Sorry, I just looked over and Blue's on a box and it's like, oh, hi, Boo. Hi, Boo. Hello. Had a staring contest. Oh, do you want anything else? I have a piano man. Alright. Promo drinks, piano man. Here. Yeah, this is nice. This will sound weird, but do you believe in replibots? Replibots? There's a belief that some Lilim out there are designed to perfectly replicate a particular human. That someone or something replaces those humans with such Lilim. Thus they call them replibots. You know a lot about this. I don't, it's just in most magazines nowadays. Well, it's the first time I've heard of it. What about it? On my way here I almost ran over my neighbor. He just showed up in the middle of the street. And I say almost because he moved really quickly out of the way. Then I went to deliver a package and somehow my neighbor was there almost immediately after the whole thing. And he was there the whole time. Maybe it was someone that looked like him? He had the same looks, clothes, and mannerisms. Trust me, you know a perfect replica when you see one. And you saw the kid Lilim here? They could easily pass off as humans. There are even Lilim idol singers nowadays whose voices can pass off as human. They could be passing off as humans under our very noses, replacing us little by little. At this point in time, I really doubt it. Oh my god, I just had a realization, everyone. What if Dorothy is actually a replica of that lady's daughter? And that's why she was given to her. As a guardian. Just thoughtful moment here. Yeah, definite oof. Lilim behavior is a bit different. You can easily tell someone's a Lilim because they seem... How do I put this? They don't care about risk and danger as much as we do. They treat risk with a lot more leniency. Still, be careful. Keep an eye out for uncanny doppelgangers. I'm leaving. Thanks for everything. Please come again. What's your take on the Replibot thing? Do you believe in them? Do you? Not really, but I ask you first. When I was in high school, I had this irrational fear of aliens. I was paranoid that they would come. What would I do then? I remember I lost lots of sleep because of it. That doesn't answer my question. Let me finish. After many months of fear, I reached a conclusion that I might as well apply here. It's useless to be afraid. I'm but a simple woman. I wouldn't know what to... I wouldn't be able to do shit against them, so I'd rather live without being afraid. Because the memories of not being afraid will be my only solace when the nebulae crabs invade. Or I mean when the Replibots come. Jill, are you still afraid of aliens? What part of it's useless to be afraid didn't you catch? Right. In fact, did anything happen? I discovered that I have a sense of humor of an 8-year-old. Did anything new happen? Hey! I bought you a package. Ah yes, my curated wiener. It's a gift from my folks. It was delayed in customs, but here it is. You guys want some of it? That's a new one. I got $800 in tips. Nice. Here's some pocket money. I've out of excuses. She just gave me $300 calling it pocket money. And Maneki Neko's actually bring luck. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm officially getting to a point where my voice is starting to really give out, so I'm gonna go ahead and see about wrapping up here in just a moment. Right after I save, since I forgot to earlier. There we go. Alright. So, I'm gonna go see who we can raid. Give me one sec here. Let's see here. One sec. Who is active tonight? So we have, you know what? Let's go read. Okay, hang on. We have some options. There's someone playing Minecraft, which is always fun. Actually, you know what? We're gonna go. We'll go raid him. One sec. We're gonna go raid him. He only has one viewer. We're gonna go raid. All right. So thank you all for coming out tonight. Thank you for joining me as I accidentally clicked that and drag it away into the ether. Ah, stop. Okay, I'll fix that later. I clicked it and dragged it away into the ether for a minute there. But yes, thank you so much for coming out. Thank you so much for all of your support. And I will be off for the next couple of days, as I tend to be. But I will definitely see you again on Tuesday, because I will be back then. We'll be doing some wonderful, wonderful Traveler's Rest, and then on Wednesday we're going to be going back into Valheim. So I hope you all have a lovely evening, and I will see you all then. Have a good night.